couldn't feel my feet by the time I was done because it was like 40 degrees outside. I was freezing. But my little chickens love it. It's really nice. It's nice and warm, but it's maybe I'll still keep them because I've lost all but two of my little bantams. My little hen and a rooster is all I have left. All the other ones got killed. So hopefully this new little coop will be safer for them. But besides that, everything's been going good. I'm finished with it. So I figured tonight we could talk about some of the past shit that happened over the last year. So anything that you guys want to bring up, talk about that happened this last year that was crap, or anything that happened this last year that was really good, or things that you are looking forward to for next year, and things that you're not looking forward to next year that you think might be coming up. That's the kind of stuff I think would be really good if we want to talk about it.
Well, I got a piece that I probably should share as just a warning. I don't want you guys to have to pay more money. And apparently earlier this week, T-Mobile has quietly updated their terms of service to include fines for content they don't agree with.
What's T-Mobile have to do with content?
They don't. But they're going to edit your content anyway. If they feel that you're using their product in bandwidth to upload misinformation, hate speech, profanity.
Yeah, I believe there was an app, or there was
on phones, on tablets, your internet.
I believe there was
you put that link in the chat.
Oh yeah.
There was somebody tried doing that already, and they got sued into oblivion.
I would love to see that happen again. Stop trying to give me, what do you call that? Social credit score. Not into it.
I don't understand how they can. You're paying them for service, which means to use cell service that you're paying for, and now they're saying they're going to fine you if you use their service, and you're paying for it.
Yeah,
you have to remember something. This is the beginning of what happened already in the past, 100 years ago. You had people that when the TV was invented, when newspapers were out there, people could publish what they wanted to publish, do what they wanted to do.
This is from Nextdoor, which is not something I trust. But this is completely in line with what I've been seeing so far. They have they have these 5 things called shaft. Sex, hate,
they're giving you the shaft.
Can you hear me now?
Firearms and tobacco.
Yeah, I can hear you. Turn it up just a little bit more.
We hear you just fine, Ruben.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
But this is what we are looking at, and it's been going across the internet quietly. Laura Loomer let us know about it the 23rd of December, and there's been a lot of stuff going on about this. But let me see if I can find an actual quote-unquote news org.
Doesn't matter to me. I don't use T-Mobile.
And even
saying this is what happened.
Even Snopes is like, yes, but this is only happening to the big accounts. And there's that in the private chat. So here we go with the presentation from the Snopes themselves, and this is funny as fuck to me, because Snopes is like, they're going to find customers for sharing content it doesn't agree with. It only applies to automated mass text, but some customers were quite concerned. So it's true. Post on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, which, according to Loomer's tweet and screenshot, they quietly updated TOS to include fines for content they don't agree with. Okay?
Yeah.
This is completely what Twitter wants to do, or what T-Mobile wants to do, because they're a very big pro-Obama, pro-China censorship organization. They love the idea of this. They want to help. Give them more government funds. They love this shit.
You want to know what they should do? T-Mobile should Elon should kick T-Mobile off their platform.
People should just cancel their T-Mobile account.
Yeah,
I don't have
would.
one. I don't have one. I have a Straight Talk.
'Cause you're smart. That's why. But yeah, I mean, why would anyone want to pay a monthly fee for a phone that you can't use, or you're going to get fined for using every time you use it? Who would want to do that? It's ridiculous.
It's not about the phone. They did this 100 years ago. Like I was trying to say, they published when people had radio, when you had newspapers, when you had magazines, and you had news reports coming out, people could just put out what they wanted. They publish what they want, go on the street, sell their papers, depending. And then the government got involved, or actually corporations got involved and said, like the Horse Corporation, ABC, NBC, all the corporations got involved and said, well, we have to regulate this. So this is a soft regulation.
I can just see these fat cats with their giant jowls. I'm a fat fuck myself. I'm not trying to be a fat fuck anymore, but I'm still a fat fuck, and I'm trying to drop that. But I see these fat fucks in these boardrooms with cigars crumbling away between their fingers. We've got to take away the power of the people because they cannot be trusted to actually have thoughts that would be in line with the upper crust of society.
You're saying it wrong. It's basically they're doing it for your preferred protection of people that will
visualize
the things to make that's what they'll do.
Don't they understand? The yacht club is what rules middle America.
You sound like
You
Nixon.
hear me, can you?
Yeah, man, I could almost actually visualize Nixon and
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was kind of scary.
Or
But
this
yeah,
really fat
that's
fuck with a
ridiculous.
small mustache and bald head.
That's
I mean, that's
really
another way that I can
scary.
visualize it.
But see, we're lucky because we still live in a country where we can say to them and get rid of them and go to someone else. It's when we are going to be told by the government that there's only one choice and they're it. You see what I mean? That's when we know we're screwed, basically.
I mean, there was that government douchebag that actually tried quoting Reagan and misquoted him, saying that you can trust the government. That's what they're there for. It's like, he was actually saying that you can't trust the government. You fucking retard.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I said that word, but because a person like that is held back and hindered as the original definition is. Because a lot of people, I use the original definition for words that are bad. I mean, heck, if people actually remembered the original definition of the N-word, people would probably not have that much of a problem with it.
Parentage, poor character. That's
ignorant.
Ignorant, poor character, and unknown heritage. That was the original definition of that which we cannot state because of our melanin content.
Yeah, and it's like,
hey, Hunger.
And I was told this by a black person. My former landlady, she was black. She's also a freaking liberal as hell, Biden all the way. But she explained that to me. It's like, and yet they all have a problem when people use it. That's not the same skin colorism.
Use it.
Yeah.
Did you want me to share any of those links that you put in the private chat?
If you want to share those, please do, because those are.
Well, yeah, I think we already shared that Snopes one.
I know, but did we put them in the what I'm wanting to know
main
is
chat? No, I haven't put them in main chat.
okay. Trying to make sure which one's which.
I put it in. I put it in chat, and it just was like, nope, I can't handle you, Bruce. And then I realized, like, all right.
Yeah, it's like you try doing that. It's called you cannot impose free speech upon, or you cannot impose restrictions on free speech simply because you disagree with what a person does using or talking on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, who was it? Was it Cash App or was it which one of those apps that you could transfer cash with
Mhm.
tried doing this very thing? And they immediately got
PayPal.
called out for it,
I-
and they
I know.
lost.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Does it sound
what
better
it
now?
was.
Yes.
Yes. You sound great. Remember, wasn't the guy that owned Twitter before, and he had what's it called, Stripe?
Jack Dempsey?
Yeah, but didn't he have one, PayPal or something? What's the one he owns?
Oh.
I want to say that PayPal was not him.
All I know is one that I used to have on my phone, because you plug this little thing into the bottom of your phone and you could swipe cards
Sounds
on
like
it.
Stripe. That sounds like Stripe.
Okay, that one is the one that he owned, because when I found out he had it, I got rid of it. Yeah,
Darcy.
Jack Dorsey. But what is the name of the company that he owned? Because
He owned
that's where he
Twitter.
makes.
He was
Yeah,
Twitter
besides
before
Twitter.
Elon.
But he owned, the guy that owned Twitter is the one that owns this Cash App or whatever it's called, some kind of thing where you can use people's credit cards and transfer money and things like that. But I cannot remember the name of it. But that guy, because I can't stand him. And anything he has that he's going to make money off of, I don't want to use it if I can help it. Yes, Square. That's it. It was Square.
Okay.
Because
My
I had that. And when I found out it was him that owned it, I was like, forget this crap. And you know how much he charged? 6%. And all he did was make sure that I could swipe this card to sell one of my pieces of work, my art or whatever, or my bags that I crocheted. And he got 6% just for me using his app. So that's another reason why I was thankful to get rid of it. But
damn it.
Yeah.
Is Ruben your new neighbor?
I don't know. He didn't tell me he moved.
Well, no, his internet keeps kicking him off.
Oh, well, he said he rebuilt his computer, so he's trying to get the sound and stuff to work for him.
Can you hear me now?
We
Yes.
can hear you just
Yes.
Yay.
Sorry.
It's okay. You sound great
This is
now.
insane.
I hope
So
you guys-
basically, I was saying that this is what they tried. This is what they did back in 100 years ago.
Mhm.
You had people who could publish, print, radio, everything out, and it was
Mhm.
unregulated. So what they said, so they don't want to bring unregulation. So they have corporations that are doing this, and they're basically now now Snoop's lying as they always do is saying that it's going to be for a large corporation. What's anybody doing mass stuff? We're doing this because somebody out there from China or, in their point, Russia, will send out mass tweets, and they're doing all this stuff. So it's for your protection that they're doing these things, and it's all wrong. And it's a soft thing. And the thing is that they did this before. This is why you have, that's why TV is still regulated, where you can't, show nudity or do anything, say bad words, all that stuff. And that's why, radio is also regulated, FCC and all that stuff. Like, people get fined and all that stuff because we put the regulation in, and it's not to protect you. It's to protect the corporations from what they can do. They have approved speech. They can do that stuff. And it's happening now already. My perfect example is YouTube and Wikipedia in bed together, because every time that anybody's on YouTube and talks about anything like January 6th, or talks about, the election, talks about, Russia or Ukraine, they always put the context this. Again, they are trying to push the narrative and not the truth. And I'm done with it all.
Yeah. Well, it sucks.
I love how a corporation can just figure out the truth for me, and then they can give me the truth every day at 5:30 with the same canned hack that somebody on the West Coast is going to receive. And it might just be a skin suit change, but they will literally say the same fucking things verbatim.
Do you still watch the news?
I don't watch the news anymore.
I don't either.
When did you stop watching?
When did I stop?
Mine was almost right after Trump lost.
After 2020 December, I think, was when I was told I was a bigot and hate-filled. I said, "You're a cream puff and you need to self-delete." and then I got booted off Twitter again.
And the last time I
Well-
actually watched the news on TV
Uh-huh.
was, well, January 6th. And it's like, oh, dear God, I know where this is going to go. And
Hey,
that's
Drew
when I
Wall
stopped. It's like,
Street.
I'm not going to watch them freaking make a huge thing about it. No, not going to do that.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know,
the
that was
same
kind of
thing.
how I viewed it.
No, I watched January 6th to basically see history being made where they would basically rule in the favor that Trump actually did win, because he did.
Mhm.
And when I saw what they did, I said, oh my God, they're doing it. And then when I saw what they were doing, as I saw it, I said, oh God, that was a moment where I said, oh shit, this is really, they are taking over the country. And they did. So now here we are. And I just I'm done with it. I don't like the fact that I'm seeing this all happen. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is why I'm rebuilding the computer, rebuilding my computer, so everything. So, and that's,
Yeah, I quit Facebook after the whole thing with in November, though, after the whole thing, and because all my friends and stuff were all saying, oh, this had to happen to prove that they stole it, and this, that, and the other, and he'll be put back in, and you blah blah blah. And I was like, no, it won't. This is all gonna have to go through the courts, just like it would if it was you or somebody else that this happened to. And I said, so it's bullshit. This is all bullshit. And I was right. And the thing is, I got rid of Facebook after that, because Facebook was like getting on to me for things that I would say, but other people would say the exact same thing, but using another thing, Antifa or some of these other things, and they were allowed to say it. But if I said the exact same thing using another thing, not Antifa.
yeah, Candace Owens did that. She basically copied a tweet from somebody else, but just changed it from BLM to something else, and then
That's what I did.
yeah, and then you get that ban.
I
You
got
got banned
in
on
trouble.
Twitter for that. So
And I just said,
the
"F
fix
you
is in.
guys."
So it's like,
Yeah.
and that's the whole idea. This is why I basically say over and over again, if this is not about Donald Trump, this is about you. This is about me.
Mm-hmm.
And don't put your faith into Trump. I'm not saying that he won't do if he wins. I'm just saying that it's not just one man against the whole everybody else. It's
Have a good night,
it's
Parrot Head.
Americans
God bless you,
that are
bud.
finally standing up. We
Mhm.
see these movies, the MCU before it was good, before it became woke, but the whole idea of people need to take a stand, and I'm standing up. I'm done, and that's why. If somebody told, again, the whole idea, and Patrick David talked about it, and a few other people that talk about it. If someone said, "I'll give you $1 million if you did this," would you do it? You have Travis Kelce, who did it for Pfizer, and then gets Taylor Swift. He's doing it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, for
refused.
money.
I quit my job because they wanted me to do something. It was unethical. It wasn't illegal. It was unethical. And I'm done with it. I've never done that. And that's why I'm bringing ethics back. And I've put it on X. I put it everywhere out there. So I'm doing it. And that's another reason why I'm rebuilding the computer, because I'm basically saying, you know what? I'm rebuilding it. It's hard. It's hardened. It's hardened. And and again, I'm off all social media and stuff. I still have my account because I'm leaving it there, but I'm not going to delete it, because to delete it is they win, but I'm not posting there, and I'm not. They're not tracking me anymore. So there's no tracking. Nothing tracks me anymore. Even the phone doesn't track me. So it's all hardened down.
Well, I'm glad that you're smart enough to be able to do that, protect yourself that way, because a lot of people aren't.
Well, yeah,
But
they're because again, if you have an Apple or an Android phone, every time you send a text or receive a push notification, which goes back to what we're talking about here with mass texts, they track that. So if you basically follow whoever and then you get a mass text from that person, then those are all tracked.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's collected as data, and they know, and they're following Twitter. They still have there are people still in Twitter who are collecting everything. And that's why I use my real name everywhere I go, because come on, motherfuckers, I don't care. I'm here for a reason. And
I'm here to watch the collapse of Marxism. I'm here to help bury them.
But it's not, but again, we're not there yet. We still are falling. The fall hasn't even started.
That's fine. I'm still driven to succeed. I'm still going to be a dick about it on the way down when we hit the bottom and splat and when we rebuild. I don't give a shit. These people, I know that I am a very small, ineffectual person. I'm one miserable voice. And when I say miserable, I there are some days I wake up, I'm like, and getting through the day, the only thing that makes me happy is that somebody got pissed off that I quit smoking because they were almost practically insured I was going to have poor health if I kept doing it. And when they found out I quit, they got upset. And that gave me joy. And I thought I could do this every day. And that's what I pursue. I pursue just needling somebody in the kidney, like I'm still here, I'm still here, I'm still here. And that's all I want to do. Find communists and make them piss blood. That's all. Nothing big. Be driven to something. Be an asshole. Shit on the world. Because, they're all going to be their little dumb selves and go for like, oh my God, we need free healthcare and we need stupid ideas. And can we have Big Mike as president, please? I'm here to fucking help flush you down the toilet.
Well,
an accident.
I can't wait to see the end. And I know
what do you guys think's going to happen next year? Do you think that it's going to keep going down the same path, or do you think that next month something big's going to happen and things are going to start getting better?
I would sell your Wendy's if I were you, because it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it's going to get much worse. We're not even there yet.
Yeah. I wanted to show you this because this is something. Let's see. Let me see what the name of it. Okay, there it is. I want to show you something here that I found, and I wanted to find out what you guys think about this. Here. Can you see it?
Biden, what now?
Warns U.S. military may get pulled into direct conflict with Russia.
We won't. Again, it's going to be the U.S. government's fault. They're doing it. Russia is not a problem. The U.S. government's a problem.
I know that. You and I know that. We all know that.
And I'm going to keep seeing it. I'm going to say.
And the people will continue, and the people will rise up in one voice and say, "Fuck you" to the government.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, they have no idea what's about to happen with it. Again, they can't shut everybody up.
They can't lock up everybody either.
This right here, this type of thing, if this guy tries to put us into this right here with our loved ones and our children to send over there to do this shit, and after we've sent him $600 million just recently again.
Oh, we're going to go for another 250 million.
I know, but what I'm saying is, this is what's going to make us snap, I think. We are so fed up. The taxpayers, the working parents, the ones who actually try to pay their bills and do the right thing. And now they want the blood of our kids on top of all of our money. You see what I mean?
Yeah, we'll march straight on. We won't march on they won't march. We won't march on the Capitol. We'll march on the fucking White House.
Yeah,
you really try doing this to the people. The people will revolt against you. You will have another fucking revolution on your hands.
I really think this is, if anything's going to cause us to do something to fight our government, this is what it is. It's our kids. It's our children, our uncles, our aunts, our cousins, and our kids being sent to a fight in a war that doesn't even threaten us on our homeland. You know what I mean? Russia's not coming after us. Just because Biden's got somebody over there in Ukraine that has dirt on him, and whoever else.
No, they don't have dirt on him.
What about the
33 he's a puppet
labs we found? Oh, not us. We didn't find those. Putin found those. And then, of course, the undercurrent media, the guys that you're not supposed to listen to because of misinformation, they're the big accounts that, being targeted by shitheads like T-Mobile. They don't want to talk about the biolabs that were found, but there was 33 of them found in this press up against Ukraine. And that's why Ukraine is panicking so much, because majority of their money coming in is from medical research You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, they are a nice little ag center. They do supply a lot of the world's fertilizer, and honest terms, they supply a fuck ton of fertilizer. Wait till, by the way, the seed and feed prices hit the stores this next coming year. You guys haven't seen anything yet. So,
I mean, here's the thing. They want me to go over there and fight Russia. I'll only do it when Biden himself comes to my house and tells me to do it. And then when he does, well, he trespassed on my property.
What's the age limit, or what's what they're doing? They said
Draft limit is 34, I believe is 30
they've raised it, I believe, to 35.
or 35.
What is it? 18
I'm past
to
that limit. I'm
35?
39, so they
Yeah.
or so I won't be called over. But I'm telling you now, I have family who I will tell them flat out: you send, or if you send
Don't do it.
any of them over, I will cut you out of my life like a cancer, because that is what you would be to me.
Mhm. Yeah, that.
This
to me,
isn't about honoring and protecting your country.
I've been hearing,
This is about this is about being a traitor and fighting for a different country other than your own.
Yep.
Yep. But the thing is, I've been hearing so many people talking about, oh, if they take out Trump, if they do this, if they take him off the ballot, if they try to kill him, if they do any of these things, it's going to be civil war. And I'm like, I don't think we could go to civil war over Trump. I just don't. I mean, I care about him and I don't want to see him get hurt, but he's just one man. Okay. But the fact they want to send our children over there and our cousins and our aunts and uncles over there to fight for a country they could care less about us, and to fight a country that's not even trying to attack us. It's ridiculous.
yeah, but they're going to make
That's why I
they're going to
think-
do a Nord Stream pipeline. They're going to or the Vietnam War. They're going to create an event. The U.S. government is going to create an event to destroy the moral fiber of America,
They already
like they've been
did
doing at the
that.
border, like they've been doing for Hollywood and politics. It's all
They did it back in 2001.
yes, they did.
You think those buildings fell straight down after planes rammed into them? That's called an implosive charge
But see, it worked.
on the structure points.
Whatever they did for that whole thing, for the whole scenario with the Pentagon, what happened in New York, and then the plane that supposedly crashed and left no trace of anything, right? Except for holes in the ground. And we all believed it. We went to war. We fought who we thought attacked us.
Thanks
You
to the
know,
British. It's
it
thanks
all
to the
worked.
British press that gave it away, because they were saying that Building 7 went down when Building 7's right up behind them, still
It's
standing.
still standing. Had we dropped down an hour later.
Mhm.
That was
But the
great.
thing is that was on TV, where most people watch it on TV. When your child leaves to go fight in a war, that affects thousands and thousands of people all over the United States, not just one city, what you're watching on television. That's a different effect that's going to have across the country. That's why I really believe if that man tries to do that to our children, that's when I think we're going to say F this shit. We're going to bear arms against our government, because
Yeah, but the
Mhm.
thing is that they're smart. They're not going to basically say, "Okay, we're going to war." No, they're going to have an attack happen, and then the people will want
I don't
to
think
go
it'll work.
because
I think people now in this country,
they're
the
still
ones
asleep.
kids they're going to ask to go are going to say, this was set up. My kid's still not going. I'm not letting my kid go.
So
I don't
I
care
just
if they're an
started
adult.
looking.
You
I wanna
give
fight
people 95% of people are still asleep.
No,
I
they're
just
not.
started commenting.
Yes, they
I
are.
just
95 are
commented
still
on it.
asleep.
I don't think so. When their kids are being taken to go fight and die for another country that has nothing to do with us, I don't think that they're going to be asleep. I just think that's gonna wake
But the
them
thing
up.
is that they're not fighting another country. They're fighting for our country. That's
No, they're not.
what the message will be. The message will be they're
The
fighting
message
for
will
America to
be
attack
that,
America.
but I guarantee you, people will be or people will be telling them, or people will know the truth and they'll be also speaking it out like we are right now. It isn't for our country. It is for Ukraine. So if Biden wants you to give up your kids to fight for another country, tell him this: go fuck yourself with your ugly ass fist. Because I'm telling you right now, I am not going to fight, or I nor any of my members of my family will fight this war for you or for your government, because this is not our fight. It never was our fight. You can give up all
It
of
isn't
our
a fight. That's the whole point. It's not a fight. It's all a fantasy.
Give up
Yeah.
our,
It isn't yet, but they want it to be. See, that's what I'm saying. They're willing to take our children and put them over there and let them die for something that has nothing to do with us. I mean,
but again, you're missing the point. It's not about us going to help Ukraine. It's about us fighting Russia because Russia attacked us. That's the point.
Remember
when did they
I
attack
said that
us?
there's going to be either a pulse or some other attack on our grid or something like
Yes.
that, and they're going to
Correct.
I think it's a little bit scarier.
They would
than
have
that.
to cause
What do you think?
an immense. They would have to cause another 9/11.
Yes.
In order to
no,
get
no,
us
it's
to
going
go.
to be worse than that. It's going to be
worse.
It's going to be
They
millions.
would have to. They would
go
have
like
to have
that.
mass
Flick of a
casualties
switch.
over 3,000 in order to get us to go back into another war.
And I think it's going to be multiple cities. I don't think
Yes.
it's
And
going
here's
to
the
be just one
thing:
city.
if they do it, I'm telling you right now, no one's going to believe in it. They will go after the fucking government.
So our government right now has a huge contingent of statists that they want to get behind Hamas and help out Hamas. Okay, and you can see that in some of the press releases.
Yeah, the squad is all pro Hamas.
Yeah, the Biden administration's pro Hamas, even though they're saying they represent and they back Israel. That's completely a falsehood. Hamas was voted in power by Palestine, and Palestine right now is experiencing the same record losses that basically the Ukraine's been suffering. They were only talking about the Ukrainian victories or small things like we shot a jet down today, or hey, we sunk a parked ship in the Moscow harbor, or we had this small victory. But there's a ton of Ukrainian soldiers getting their ass whooped by Russians when they actually do engage in a close quarter fight. And there's been a lot of those. Ukraine has given up a lot of land, and we can't. I don't see Biden being able to drag America into a fight with Ukraine. You can't get the U.S. people behind. You guys just proved it completely, by the way. We can't get the United States to back Ukraine, But I think what's going to happen is that if Biden keeps being stupid and they keep trying to tell Israel, hey, stop being so damn good at killing the Hamas guys. Stop killing women and children. By the way, when Hamas fights, they only fight when they have women and children standing in front of them and they can fire over the shoulder. Because that's why Hamas is a bunch of cunts. They're a bunch of pussies. They can't fight where the fuck. They don't open fight. I fucking love seeing Hamas get their ass punched in. That is my favorite fucking thing to watch right now, aside from seeing Biden fall upstairs. But I absolutely love watching this. But they're gonna drag us into a war, and that's gonna be the final steps of prophecy that a lot of people are saying, oh, that can't happen. But a lot of things in Revelation have happened, being that we've got Gog and Magog as friends right now, which being Persia and the territory formerly known as USSR, now it's Russia. Those two countries are now hand in hand trading, sharing, social media likes and everything. This is kind of been told of. It's been foretold.
But they still win. That's the whole point. Again, you'll have the religious idiots start their own shit too, like you just said right now. They believe all this crap. So that's the whole thing. It's a lose-lose for individuality.
We're not going to be behind. We're not going in to help out Israel. Biden's going to go against them, I think, because he's so pro Hamas, and he's going to try to cajole Americans to send their kids and daughters and over into Israel and try to police the Israelites. And that's when we get wiped off the map, I think. I think that's seriously when that happens. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe, I'd be happy to be wrong on this because it means I get to be a continued shit poster for the 2024. But it's been going on for a couple of years. The problems over in Israel, and whenever Palestine voted in Hamas to represent them, and Hamas's entire leadership is like, it's in our charter, we've got to wipe Israel off the map.
Mhm.
I mean, that was kind of the start of it, I think. And while it influenced, it doesn't really influence us right now, but we've got this president that's a resident. He's just a puppet. That's all he really is. And I think
Yeah.
he's going to be dragged into a fight to where he throws more and more resources, and eventually they're going to be anti-Israel. I really feel that. I
Well,
wish we weren't in the Middle
I
East.
had made a prediction earlier. I think it was like the second or third shows we did on this, and I said that I thought that Biden would be out of office by New Year's.
I was hoping.
So I got 3 days. New Year's
Well, he's
Day.
going to
Yeah,
go
I
to
don't see
St. Croix,
I
I
don't see an
believe, somewhere
impeachment
else
happening.
outside of the United States
So
for-
I don't know. We'll see.
for
But
New Year's.
I
This
think
fossilized
that
old ass is in
either
St. Croix right
he's
now.
not going to be.
Yeah.
He's not going to be breathing,
Yeah.
or he's going to be thrown out because they said he was they're blaming him for everything and getting rid of him. You see what I mean? That's what I thought was going to happen. So I only got a couple more days, and I'll be wrong, but I really still think they're chucking him under the bus and they're getting rid of him. I may be just wrong on the date, but he's not going to run again. This guy is he can't control his bowels. He can't control his mouth. He's got to be drugged up 24/7. And after you watch that Tucker Carlson interview with Alex Jones, and they talked about him blabbering and walking around the White House naked at night, and they got to pretty much keep him jacked up on drugs to even get him to be coherent, stuff like that. I don't see him being able to do that for 4 more years. I just can't.
Somebody's going to let it slip.
Risk.
One of these guys is going to get tired. One of the Secret Service guys is going to find like some sort of antigen or something to like, he's just going to have one day where he's like, I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm done. I want everybody to see what I see. Fuck all of you. And he goes over to Biden and shoves a needle in him. Biden doesn't resist. He doesn't even know if he's here on this planet. And all of a sudden, like, all the dope wears off. And then he's there stumbling around like Ozzy Osbourne in the final season of Meet the Osbournes, pissing and shitting himself. Sharon! And we get to see it because it's on camera. I can't.
Yeah,
fucking
we've
wait.
already seen it. He's pooped his pants at the palace. He's done it when he was with
Vatican.
at the
Vatican.
Vatican. I mean, and it's pathetic. It is terrible and sad. And that's, like I said, he's just a puppet. And as soon as his usefulness is gone, they're going to chuck him and say, oh, it's all his fault. We want to impeach him or whatever, and then they'll put Camilla up there and they can say, oh, they had the first woman president under the Democrats and whatever, and then install Gavin Newsom and whoever his VP is going to be. I mean, they're just doing anything and everything they could think of to ruin this country. That's all.
Going back to what you started off this whole conversation with, the whole idea of T-Mobile, you're going to have the same thing. Everything's going to be coordinated. How they got rid of Parler all at the same time. How they were all coordinated to get Trump off of Twitter the first time, and how they took the election and then they let it happen because, again, a water main break. This happened. When you have controlled chaos, it'll happen, and that's what's going to happen. It's not going to be we have to go because an attack happened. It's going to be a catastrophic event. It's going to be worse than everything. To basically quote, Kamala Harris, when she said that, January 6th was the worst thing since 9/11, Pearl Harbor and all that stuff. It's going to be that level of event. It's even higher than that. It's going to be the hundreds of millions of thousands of people will instantly vanish like that all over the United States. Then they're going to say Russia did it, China did it. Because remember, they had the balloon you had, and then the EMP could happen. And you know what, they discovered that they used an internet service provider to send communications while they're in the United States. They used our own systems to communicate back what their findings were. And they let it happen because they want to happen.
I mean,
I know they want it to happen, for sure.
this administration sued Texas or Arizona. Arizona
Both.
had HAPAG containers used as a wall, which was effective, hard to scale those. And then Texas had the buoys in the river, hard to swim around those because they had netting and it was just a tangle fuck up. So the two southern border states that were doing something about the southern border being porous, the administration went after because what they want is they want to have all these people come over, mine the goods and services out of the country. They want to have us completely Cloward pivened into oblivion. The Cloward piven death spiral is when you have so many people sucking on a tit, there's no tit left, and there's completely bottoms out the economy, destroys all the infrastructure, and that's what they want. They want to destroy this.
We're almost there now.
I don't think we're almost there.
Well, have you seen how the list of how many? That's what I should have brought up. Is how many companies are closing stores?
That's a good thing.
I
think that's a good thing. And the reason why is I saw a note today saying diversity in the DEI sections of numerous big companies are shuttering because they're not adding to the portfolio for the investor class. And so they're taking out a lot of DEI out of big companies where they don't have such a firm handle on the rest of us. And I'm sure Disney is going to keep their DEI bullshit. I'm sure Hasbro's going to keep their DEI bullshit. I'm sure that the big stupid corps are going to keep their DEI bullshit. But the medium-sized companies like CVS, like Walgreens, I think they're going to probably say, we're done. We're not going to do this anymore.
But they're going to get bought out. That's the whole point. Like what happened during the lockdowns. You had the mom and pop shops had to shut down because they were non-essential. You had people going to the big box stores. So what's going to happen is the government's going to be collude so that they're going to have these large corporations are going to take over. So then, yeah, it's going to be, you don't need to get your drugs from, Walgreens, and you'll get it from the government. You don't need to go to get your gas station. You go get the government. So everything will be corporatized, governmentized. So then that way it's insured. And then you're going to have more bureaucrats. So basically everyone will work. You'll get, and then again, they're going to do this. They're going to have two things. They will have that golden jubilee moment. You know what the golden jubilee is?
When they're going to back.
No, when they basically say, all of your debts wiped out and we're going to the digital dollar.
Yes, I mean, backed by gold.
No, not by gold. All electronic, all tracked, not by gold.
Okay.
CBDC, not gold. Not what that's what should be gold.
Dollar.
But they're going to say that, hey, if you owe your house, then you're going to not have to pay that anymore.
It's not your house anymore, really. I mean, it's going to be there
the
after
point.
You're dead.
But basically anybody
after you're dead anyway. See, that's what they're going to tell you. It's going to go on to the next family.
Then look at the DI. That's where they get. That's when they'll bring the DEI and they'll bring the whole idea back, because again, you'll have to be compliant. That's when it goes back to the story of T-Mobile. You're not sending out bad tweets. You're not talking bad about the government. So you'll get, more benefit. Again, going back to what Travis Kelce did, what Taylor Swift's doing, they're getting paid. I don't watch television at all. And I went downstairs to cook some food and the TV was on. And I saw actors that are like, I thought were A-list, doing commercials for games on the phone. Buy a game, play a game. And I'm going, are you insane? And then the next person is like trying to sell you need blah, blah, blah for your high blood pressure. You need this, you need that, blah, blah, blah. And I don't watch television. And I saw this in like utter like amazement and going, my God, are people that stupid? Just getting this. And then the next thing I saw, of course, were those send 50 cents a day to save a child. Again, they are trying to force you to feel bad and to basically use the money. Again, it's a big Ponzi scheme. Money's not real. The dollar's not real. And people don't. People tell me, everybody out there, that the Federal Reserve Bank is not a real bank. It's not federal at all. It's a private bank. I hope you all know this. If you don't, then get some education, please. And it's not real. Pull out a dollar. It's not real. It's fake. And they keep on digitizing it, printing it, and then the money's being diluted. That is why inflation happens. 100 years ago, a man could go into a store and buy a suit for $9.
Mhm.
Okay.
And get
So-
the whole nickel, and then the whole and get a burger and fries for 10 cents. And then they had the whole dollar meal. That dollar meal's gone. You have McDonald's now setting a meal. People are posting their meals like they get $18 for a Big Mac. What the hell's happening here? It's going to get more expensive. I told people years ago, you're going to have Starbucks $5 for a cup of coffee, and it's going to be 50. It's the Big Mac's going to get higher. It's going to be $50, $100. Don't worry, you'll be a millionaire soon. But then everyone will be a millionaire, and then everything's again. It's Zimbabwe. It's the Weimar Republic all over again.
Mhm.
Barrels of money you'll take, but again, that barrel will be all you need to do is download the app on your phone. I'm not
Mhm.
doing that. Again, I don't use Android. I don't use an Apple anymore.
It reminds me of that episode of Futurama where everybody was going to get an iPhone, one you cram in your eye.
Oh my God.
Remember, it was a real one.
Yeah.
It was the one you had put in your eye. And basically, that whole episode was about that kind of shit.
But that's
Was
why
that
they
everybody
had
goes,
that.
Shut up and take my money.
They had that
Because-
Oculus thing or whatever they wear, and then the whole augmented reality, and people and AI. That's the whole idea. They're introducing these things. AI. They're introducing augmented reality. You don't need to go outside anymore. Stay in your cube. You'll have a window, and it'll be like this video screens will show all the light coming in, all that stuff.
Yeah, and you don't need a huge house. All you need is just a place where you can sleep, go to the bathroom, and get something to eat. Just like that movie with Bruce Willis. What was the name of that? Fifth Element.
Surrogates.
Remember his little tiny apartment where his mom calls him, and the bed slides back into the wall and all that stuff. It's
The
just
Fifth
a little
Element.
cubicle. Yeah.
Well,
The
not just the
Fifth
Fifth
Element,
Element. There
remember?
was another movie he was in where everybody was on the web. Radha Michelle was the lead actress, and
Mhm.
so they all had like virtual selves that were real, and they had this reinforced android body that was going out and being a super cop.
Mhm.
But Bruce Willis's super cop body got the shit beat out of it on a bust, so he had to get a basic model, which basically was just him walking around talking, but it was excessively brittle. And watching him have to do that after he had been super cop was kind of amusing. Had a really good story to it. We'll review it later this year when we do more sci-fi. That's one
But
thing.
basically, is we're just like we've talked about many times. When you go to a restaurant and you look around and you got a family of 6 over there, and you got a family of 4 over there, and a couple over there, and everybody's on their phone. They're at a restaurant and they don't even talk to each other. They're sitting there eating and on their phones. So
I had the greatest
going
experience
out,
of my job yesterday.
you're not going out. You might also be at home scarfing down your food that you ordered in and stay on your phone. I mean,
Yeah, but no one again, they took everything away that makes you an individual.
Mhm.
People
they're
don't,
still trying to do that.
yeah, because you teach to ask a kid or ask an adult, a young adult, to cook. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to drive. They don't know how to communicate. They don't
Mhm.
write. They don't communicate at all. They have no real conversations.
Yeah, and what's sad is you've got kids that are graduating from high school, about to go to college, that never had a kiss from another person that was either a girl or a boy, because they've never ventured outside of gaming or their apps on their phones and things like that to actually have a real relationship with someone. So they're awkward. They do everything online. They
Yeah.
don't have to meet anyone. They don't bump into a girl and say, "Hey, you want to go get ice cream?"
Yeah, they did. There
Or
was
you wanna
a
go home.
video out there about that. The idea that, it used to be where you saw a girl, you got up, you went to approach her and said, "Hey, to talk." But now it's basically sitting on your phone and swiping left or right or whatever they do now.
That's what I mean. There's no, it's all done with pushing buttons and stuff instead of facial expressions and holding hands and hugging and waving and smiling.
And
know?
punching.
I
Just kidding.
hate that.
Well,
That's why I
you
don't
know,
do
saw the
online
greatest
dating.
I know.
thing yesterday.
And it's sad.
And spanking.
It's sad that those that children aren't growing up like that anymore. You know, playing outside, finding turtles, finding roly polies. This little fun things that I did when I was a kid, catching tadpoles, bringing them home and putting them in a little jar and watching them grow into frogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No,
Yeah, Cronus gets it right. He says, screw the stupid phones, and they are stupid phones. And then it's
Mhm.
the irony. The smartphone makes you stupid.
Yeah.
it's a dopamine hit. That's all it is. I had the greatest experience at work yesterday because I went over to this guy's house who I can't pronounce his last name anyway, but I'm just going to refer to him as the Big Russian. The Big Russian was living in Sacramento for 31 years. He got tired of paying high prices. Him and his wife, he lives like an Uber Chad, and I mean that in the most great, grandiose sense. When I get to the house, I can tell it's a little different than most other houses because there's like kids in the backyard. I can hear kids. Now, this is a school day, but obviously they must be doing homeschooling because 5 of the kids are on like a jungle gym or playing around this like artificial pond or something. And there's another kid with mom and they're thumbing through a book. So she must be doing homeschooling. Well, I get over there and I meet the Big Russian and he's in a tracksuit. There's no other way to put that in my head. I'm hanging out with the big boss. That's all it is. And he says, "Oh, well, no, we've been here for 2 years, and I just need you to pump out my septic tank. It's full. I have 6 kids, my lovely wife, who looks like she's like 35, even though she's 55.
Oh my.
Oh my God. And you can only look at her. The only way I could tell she was like older than me was her eyes. She had the crow's feet. But other than that, like she looked like she was excessively well cared for, and like just the things I saw, they were gardening. Now this is in the middle of like the more affluent side of Helotes, which is the western side. The super not uber rich, but like they're comfortable. He has a business. There's equipment that he has to have licenses for, and that sort of thing. So we talk about his construction business a little bit. I go to the septic tank. I do that, but when I come back, it's so wholesome to watch this Russian family, and his grandma or his mom comes out. So the grandma's there, helping raise the kids. They have 6 kids, grandma, mom, and dad. The poor septic tank cannot handle it anymore. And so I get that cleaned out, and I say, I'll have to be back. Usually it's every 5 years. If you're going to have this many people in that poor tank, I need to be here every 15 months. And that's all there is to it. And he's like, we can do that. My neighbor was complaining of the smell. I'm like, wow. I mean,
I remember when I was still living at home, and there was 5 of us girls, right? We had 1 bathroom and a 3-bedroom house, so we were all crammed in there. But the neighbors had 2 daughters, and they had, I think, a 3-bedroom too. But I remember they were having all kinds of problems with their toilet backing up and stuff. And my dad said, well, probably need to have your septic tank cleaned out. So they called some people in. They came out there. And I remember when they shoveled it out the back or whatever, and they pulled a big square off the top of the septic thing because they were trying to suck it out, but it wouldn't clean out. So they said they had to take the top off. And I remember going over and looking, and I don't remember it smelling bad or anything, but the whole
really smell
top,
bad. The enzymes and bacteria will help break the smell down.
but the whole top was covered with condoms. It was just filled with condoms. I couldn't believe it. We were like, I remember my mom looked at me and I looked at my mom and I was like, what? We couldn't believe it because the parents were gone a lot. One worked way out of town and the other one was a truck driver and the daughters were home.
Oh, below, not really.
I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen so many condoms in all my life. I mean, it was shocking. But that's what happened. Mom and dad were out and the kids were playing around.
Around.
I was like, holy shit.
Like all the condoms that are being collected in the tank, or did they not see that?
No, the the dad wasn't out there, but the mom saw it. So I know
Okay.
the mom had to have known what the, but she didn't say anything. I guess maybe she was embarrassed or whatever. And my mom just grabbed my hand and said, "Let's go." So I was like, okay. So I was sort of walking away, like, trying to act like we didn't notice. But yeah, it was pretty bad. But you can't put stuff like that in the toilet if you expect it to
My
go
favorite.
away, go somewhere. I don't know where they thought it was going to go, but it was shocking.
I had a
You're
guy.
confronted with it.
They probably
I-
didn't know
I
they
would-
had a septic tank.
I opened a tank once, and like the septic tank is completely like a block of shit. Packed so much stuff in there, it's like a block of shit. And then when I start breaking through the shit, because I'm watering it down while I'm stabbing in with a hose, and I've got
Yeah.
a scraper, and so I'm trying to carve it a bit to disturb it. Where's the poop layer separate from the water layer? Because there's a point when that happens, and you submariners, you know what I'm talking about, the thermal band. So I find like 2 feet, 3 feet down, there's a water area. So I get into that, and then I find the entire collection of feminine hygiene products, which I
Oh,
realized
jeez.
I didn't realize that you could put these through toilets and they would get to the tank. Well, I found all those, and they didn't really go too well through my hoses. I had to undo clogs for the next hour. But at the very end of this, like the recent stuff by the inlet, like I guess the son had started bringing home a girl when nobody else was home, because the father had been married happily for like 30 years. Him and wifey's got just a recreational area next to the septic tank now. No, there's no plumbing that's hooked up to the main line. It's just all feeder for the happy cells. That's it.
Mhm.
So the husband and wife are doing pretty well. But I hit a whole mother load of condoms, and the husband's there watching me disgusted the whole time, like, you have the worst fucking job ever. He tipped me $100 that day. This is about the 23rd of last year. And he's like, "You have the worst job I've ever seen." I'm like, "This is great. I don't care about, I think it's a great job, sir. I don't know what your problem is." He's like, "You like this?" I said, "I love it." Anyway, he sees his son's like, "Hey, you, come here." And he grabs his son around the shoulder, and they watch as I disturb the shit pile and the condom collection. He's like, "You see all these condoms? These aren't mine. So I need to hear it from you. What's going on?" And at that point, like I couldn't, like, I wanted to be gone. I don't want to be here for this. I'm not here for the eight is enough, Adam and the old man talking. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was just wanting to make sure it was his son because he didn't want to believe his wife was
No.
leaving him all, right?
Yeah. So the kid, the boy, he's like, "But dad, I thought these went away." Nope. So the son, like, I think the son shit himself right there because he got busted in front of a stranger. And I had like here's all the condoms that you've thrown out. By the way, would you do me a favor? I'm going to bring these closer. I need you to shovel these into a garbage bag. I'm not sucking these in my tank. I don't want to get things clogged up again.
Yeah,
What?
that's what that one guy was doing. He had some kind of weird looking rake thing, and he was raking them up, and he had this big barrel-y thing
Yeah.
that he was putting stuff in. So
Yeah, you don't
I
want to
don't
let the
know
trash go in the same shit tank. You don't want to haul that off and have a problem at the dump. You don't want to have a clog at the site, where you dump out. We don't own the dump. So whenever we get rid of the tank, whenever the shitter's full, whenever the shit tank's full on the shit sucky truck, I've got to basically write a check to the dump every time I
Yeah.
pull up in there to get rid of it.
Mhm. It's terrible, but yeah. We had 5 girls in our house, and my oldest sister, she was gone within a year after we moved in. But the thing is that we never had any problems like that because we were told, you don't put stuff like that in the toilet. And I still don't. I don't have a garbage disposal. I've never had a garbage disposal, and I don't put potato skins or carrots or anything like that in the sink. I put all that in the trash because that's how I was raised at my mom and dad's house, because we didn't have a garbage disposal until right before I moved out. As my mom finally got one put in, and I just never did that because we always had a septic tank. We didn't have city water
Have
or
you-
whatever. So,
Do you have a wood stove?
mm-mm.
If you ever get a wood stove, save your potato peelings if you peel potatoes, and wait for them to dry a little bit and then throw them in the fire, because it's actually actually helps get rid of creosote. That's what we do.
Yeah, that was one thing that I remember having a few times, different homes that we moved around in, was having special stuff you burn in your fireplace to help keep the chimney from getting nasty or something. So I don't know what that was called, but yeah.
This is terrible. I just noticed this on the Sawtooth soap package here.
What?
Well, Jeremy asked me, "Hey Bruce, what's it like having a shitty job?" So I brought out the bar soap that I'm using right now. I'm going through the Sawtooth brand.
Yeah,
In the
shitty
last seconds, this soap smells like a mountainside jaunt under clear blue skies, not climbing the stairwell of a South Philly parking garage.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Flady. You see this, man? Even they know Philly's needing help. This is, by the way, one of the best brands of soap I've ever used. Best flavors of soap. I don't taste it. I smell it. This is like a 10-ounce bar, a brick. They're usually about $6 to $7.
What does it smell like, that one?
This one here.
Uh-huh.
You ever go hiking in a non-piney area, like more like the West Rockies or Andes Mountains area? This smells like over by the rural areas around Sacramento. Not quite Mount Shasta area, but about
Not like,
50 miles
what
south.
about Colorado mountains? I've been there.
No, that has a different smell to it, and that's all the hippies with their shit smoke, their pot smoke. This isn't that. This smells really. This smells actually kind of like naturalized, like you've got a mountain spring just around the corner, like you're stepping in deer shit type of thing.
Very woodsy.
Very woodsy.
I like
here.
natural smells. I have a lot of stuff that's like with lavender, and I like the cedar, kind of a cedary. I don't know what the other smell is. Some other kind of rosemary or whatever, different smells like that, and candles and soaps. So yeah, I like all the outdoorsy stuff. It smells really good.
They do have a soap that they used to have a soap that smelled like chainsaw oil, and I don't know how they did that. I love that soap. That was great. You'd get clean and you smell like you were dirty
What
again.
kind of soap sexual tyrannosaurus use?
This is the kind of soap a sexual tyrannosaurus rex.
Yeah, did you see it right here? This one, look.
Just like me.
Oh, that's hilarious. Those are hilarious. But yeah, it's so what do you guys think we got to look forward to for next year?
Riots.
Riots.
Something
Biden
good.
getting
You don't
impeached
think
and then
we're gonna have-
riots taking place because of it.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of riots, but that's one thing I was told today on one of the spaces I was in, is that they think a lot of these businesses that are closing, when they talked about how many stores that were closing in these different companies, that most of them were the ones that are getting looted all the time.
Well, yeah,
over and over again.
I hate to say it, but one of the places I used to go to in Peoria, they closed their doors a year ago because they just couldn't handle it anymore. They were getting robbed left and right.
Yeah.
And they were just a small little bodega. It was a reasonably priced little crappy convenience store, and it was about maybe three blocks from where I was living, and so it was easy to go in there and grab a bar of lava soap after work. You notice how I have a theme? Go in there, grab some lava soap, maybe some coffee, and then get on home, because that was just one of the easiest places to get to. But now, they had so many people walking in with trash bags, just dumping shit in the trash bag and walking out. See ya, YOLO. It was crazy.
I got to write something to Jeremy after what he said in the chat.
I want to smell like
Hey,
a yeast
Cat.
infection. Oh God.
That's terrible. I'm not putting it up on screen.
Why did he read it? Here.
I told him
So
to make.
I think we're in for a big year of like just be prepared. You know, like Carrie, do smart man things this year. Don't do stupid man things. Don't do
And
things
don't
like
rely on the government because,
Yeah, don't-
or not even if you're a Republican, because Republicans should have done a lot of shit and they're fucking coward or they're cowards. Or Jamal Bowman should have been
you're
expelled.
right. They're cowards.
Or Jamal Bowman should have been expelled. The fucking January 6th committee should have been arrested and expelled and then arrested. This is stuff that they have the power to do, but they never did.
Yeah, because it's not.
And
It's not. There's
They
Democrat,
expelled their
Republican, it's
own
all uniform.
instead. They
It's-
expelled their own instead.
There are two types of politicians: the complicit and the compliant.
Both need to go
And the
straight to
incompetent.
hell,
Sorry,
in my opinion.
the complicit and compliant, or the incompetent and ignorant, ignorant. Completely.
I mean, the guy that pisses me off the most is not a Democrat. He's that one-eyed House rep that's in fucking out of Dallas, Fort Worth.
Oh, yeah, everybody loved
The
fucking
military-
Crenshaw when he was on the scene for the
military
very
vet.
first time. Then they find out that he's just another fucking.
He's
or
John
I don't
McCain.
give a. Yeah,
Part two.
I don't give. Yeah, it's like, dude, you think just because you lost your fucking eye in combat, people are gonna have fucking respect for you?
Tammy
I'm sorry, I don't
Duckworth
give a fuck
out of
what you
Illinois
didn't.
lost her legs.
I don't give a fuck what you did overseas. I don't give a fuck or what you have done or how you lost your eye. What you're doing in our government is shameful. You bring shame not only to your uniform, but to your freaking country by the shit that you're doing in Congress.
I mean, there is a movement right now on TikTok for a bunch of army soldiers trying to get the entire army to mutiny, which I thought that was cute. But being as there's like 300,000 soldiers and there's only 3 guys on TikTok begging the rest of them to mutiny, that's 0.1.
Well, you know what's going on there.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's only a Chinese app, guys. Don't worry. Nothing to see here.
I mean, they should have fucking banned TikTok on a federal level.
Mhm.
Because
No.
everybody's saying, oh, they're not sharing your data and this and that. Have you guys, did you guys never fucking pay attention during the fucking wars that we've had? You know how these fucking idiots are learning about us? By watching everyday little things, like what's going on in the background of my screen, what's going on in the background of
Well, that's like
Janet's
the same thing on
what's
Facebook.
going on fucking
Facebook,
Bruce's or
All
Ruben's.
these moms
they
posting
can't see mine.
videos and pictures of their kids eating lunch, or playing at the park and all that. People have been doing that for years and years and years on Facebook and on what was the other one? It was not
MySpace.
Facebook, MySpace. We've been doing it for years, doing that.
But the thing
stuff.
is, it didn't ramp up until the cyber economy began,
Mhm.
and essentially, when you had the pandemic happen,
Mhm.
that's when everything started to ramp up. That's where you basically, thanks Obama, basically the whole idea that, again, he spied on Trump, he spied on the American people, he got all these accolades because he's basically another puppet. And the fix is in everything. Anytime you buy like a iPhone or Android phone and you sign up for an account, it's always the TOS, going back to what we started with, the T-Mobile, the terms of service. So it basically, if you're a T-Mobile person, you look at that and you say, no, I don't want this anymore, then your phone gets cut off. You don't, and then you can go wherever you want to go. But then again, if you bought your phone through T-Mobile, it's carrier locked. You have to buy it outright. But if you still do that, you may not have access to your phone. The same thing with everything else. I'm finding out it's nefarious what they're doing. Because again, if you look at a phone that you buy a phone now, you can't put your own SIM in it unless you buy a certain phone. But then again, on top of that, the security updates, the software you get, if they force you to only have the phone for a certain time, if you find a phone you like it and you keep it, and after a while, 2 or 3 years, it won't get any more updates. So then you're forced to buy a new phone, even though you
Mhm.
have it's your phone. But
Yeah,
software won't
and
allow you to
also
make calls.
what I feel that they're going to be doing more and more of is like, let's say you go buy an Android phone or an iPhone, right? And you get all the stuff on it you want. You put all the apps on it for making videos and for photos, things like that. And then let's say the phone starts messing up, after a year and a half, and you're like, geez, I haven't had this phone very long, but it's having so many problems. I'm going to get a different kind of phone. I'm going to get a different brand. So you go to the new phone place, right? And you buy a new phone, and they're trying to take the data off this old phone to put on the new one, and you can't, because they say you cannot take your photos or this off of this because now it belongs to this company and you don't want to use them anymore, right? So they won't let you have your stuff. So they force you to have to keep the phone that you don't want simply because you can't get your pictures off of it. You can't take your
Well, you
stuff.
can. That's
No,
again. That's
I'm
that's
saying
more like idiots
now
who
you
can't do
can,
anything.
but how long before they're going to say you can't? That
Yeah,
it's now their
that is
product.
true. That is again, but that goes back to again the idea that people don't know how to do shit, and that they basically again. Uh, they're going to be slaves to the phone or slaves to the ecosystem. If you're an iPhone user and you
Mhm.
try to port everything over, it's difficult to go to completely to Android. Some
Mhm.
are cross-platform, of course, because you have apps like you have Google's cross-platform, Facebook, Meta, and all these different things are cross-platform.
Mhm.
But again, the ecosystems themselves are not. They're locked down. And that's where you have those issues, because Instagram works on both platforms, but again, the whole idea that Meta will collect it every time you post a picture on Facebook or through Meta for Google, they have to access your photos. That's why, again, I locked everything down. That's why it took me a while to get this all set up, because I basically.
Hey, Ruben, it's your buddy Google. Hey, you want to go browse anonymously?
No, I don't
You
even
go
use.
browse
I don't use
anonymously.
Google.
You can do that
let's go
now
anonymous.
on X. Now you can. It says when you go to join a space, it says, "Do you want to watch or listen anonymously?"
Oh, you can do that.
Got a little button.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you can
didn't.
do that now.
I haven't done the spaces
So
thing.
now
You know
you
you're
waste of
there,
time.
but they won't know
hover
you're there.
around. You don't even. No one will even know you're there or watching, except there's a number. Okay, it tell you that you have 37 people in your space, and then at the bottom it says plus 1 or 2 or whatever amount of people are just watching or listening, not participating. They just want to
Yeah, that's
eavesdrop
fine. You
on the
can be
conversation.
anonymous. That's the whole thing. But
You know
again,
what I mean?
you're not anonymous if you think you're anonymous. Basically, if you use those
No, I
things,
mean
because
you're
again,
anonymous
it'll
to the
track them. It's
people
just
running the
insane.
space,
Right.
because I've co-hosted and hosted, and you just no way to tell who it is. Can't tell. It's just they're anonymous, and that's what it says, anonymous listener.
Okay.
So
I got
You
another
know.
Yeah,
thing here.
but but
Yo, you
that's
want me to
again, that's
share
other.
that?
It's not true, but they know who you are.
yeah,
So
I know they know, but we
Oh,
don't.
great! Now what?
if you are a member of the EU,
Mhm.
France now makes it illegal to pay over 1,000 euros in cash, 15,000 maximum cash payments for non-residents, as per the official website of Banque de France. 1,000 euros
What does
is
that
maximum
mean?
cash. Can't do cash payments can't do cash transfers in France for over 1,000 euros, and you can't pay 15,000 euros that they can make for non-residents, provided the payment is not for professional purposes. Okay. So they're making it illegal to use cash. They're making you use your card. They're making you
Yes.
use ones and zeros. That's what
Mhm.
the Banque de France is doing to France.
Oh, so like if you wanted to buy, let's say
A
a
car.
motorcycle from someone, yeah.
Yeah.
So and it cost you $4,000. So you
Mhm.
can't go get $4,000 out of the bank and go pay them for it. They're
Correct.
making you have to use some type of transfer
Yep.
with the Cash App or whatever. Wow. See?
Yeah.
Well,
There
here's
you
what I
go.
would do if I had the resources to do it, and if they tried to stop me from paying with cash, I would simply say, I'm going to sue you because because this is legal tender. I'm allowed to pay with it. This is the currency of the realm currently, and you trying to say no simply because you want my credit card information. What if I don't feel like giving that to you? I wasn't even able to buy or rent a car because I have no credit score because I don't use credit cards.
You know, a friend of mine avoided the system for many years, and one day he showed me his report. His credit score was ... He'd avoided the system so long, he didn't have an identity. He didn't have a number on his credit report.
So that means he wouldn't be able to buy a car or get a loan to buy a house or anything, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. You're not going to be able to buy anything because, again, for people, stop buying cars and buying houses. Again, I don't know why people are doing this. They're just
Funding
kind
the
of dumb.
machine.
Just
They're funding the
build
machine.
something. Don't buy. Build.
Well, I don't know how to build a car.
I can do work.
But again,
on
that's
a
the whole
car.
thing. People stop learning how to do shit. You know.
Anyway, I've got another link here for the EU bullshit cash only stuff.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the. I'm gonna put this in the thing for everybody.
So the European Commission wants to impose a limit on cash payments in the EU due to a lot of money laundering. They're going to blame the Zelenskys and the stuff going on in Ukraine. And, you know, I feel sorry for Ukrainian and Russian people alike. Generally are nice people. This is a problem in the oligarchs. This is not a problem for the common people. The war that's going on over there is spilling into everybody else's lives. I feel very sorry for them. But they're going to blame a lot of what's going on right here on the war in Ukraine, and they're going to blame Russia, which is pretty bullshit. They're asking the question, why control the internal circulation of money? The German officials believe that this way it will be possible to control tax evasion and illegal activities in the European Union. It will present proposals for tougher anti-money laundering rules in the first half of the year. European Commission believes that cash remains the most profitable option for money laundering. The introduction of new regulations can prevent this illegal activity.
Look at what they did in the UK recently. They're now imposing a knife ban.
What?
On knives.
Knives,
On
yeah,
knives?
long knives. No joke.
Because
joke.
somebody got stabbed there. Is that why they're doing
There's
that?
too many knife crimes. So that
Yeah.
it's like, and I simply put, it's like, England or people of England, you need a fucking revolution.
Hey, Nerdy, how you doing? Nerdy's right. Buy a clunker for $700 and fix it up, get some things working on it, and then use that to tool around everywhere. If you know how to do your own oil changes, you're ahead of 90% of America.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to take care of start learning to hunt, learning to cook, learning to do everything on your own. Because again, that's the thing. Because you're going to have blackouts, cyber attacks, terrorist attacks, disruptions in the radio, television, electric grid, nuclear, water. Everything's going to go because again, what if you get a boil order and then you simultaneously there's no gas flowing, and simultaneously there's a cyber attack, and then we lose all communication, and then they blame Russia or whatever, or North Korea or China, whatever it is, and then they say we must lock it down now. We have to have approved. We have to federalize Starlink or federalize this. We have to do it now. It's all the same people who are causing the problem are here to fix the problem for you, basically, like Orange Chat was saying, education. And that's the irony. The education secretary misquoted Ronald Reagan. And that tells you misinformation completely. That is the dumbest thing he ever said. I can't believe he misquoted him. And again, that's what I'm saying. All of these agencies. That started with Roosevelt, because again, the Great Depression was planned. Also, World War II was planned. Korea was planned. Everything's been planned. It's all planned. But again, it's much older. As I say, This has been a delusion of over 7,000 years, 10,000 years, a delusion. You think you're free and you're not. You have to wake up and start being free. And I know it's difficult. You know, you have you go and buy a computer, and you think you have the
How
two
many years?
choices. Excuse me?
How many years did you just say?
About 10,000 years.
We didn't even have government 10,000 years ago.
Yes, he did. He had religion.
No, 10,000 years ago, we were still Cro-Magnon.
No, we're not. We've been around a lot longer, millions of years. They've been hiding all that too.
I disagree with the long Earth theory, but if you want to,
Oh God, here we go.
go
Again.
ahead.
Yeah, and that's the other side. Again, it's the whole binary choice. You're going to have government or religion controlling everything, and
Well,
you're
no, I
still
mean, it's
being
the fact that-
slaves.
But you have the reason why I say that is that you have the Native Americans up in Minnesota, Wisconsin area that they talk about tales where they have the thunder lizards walking next to them. They're talking
Yes.
about dinosaurs.
Yeah,
And
no.
this isn't something that's thousands of years ago. They're talking about something that happened just 100 or 200 years ago.
No,
maybe-
millions of years ago.
I disagree. I really do.
There's evidence of it.
If
I
we
see it all
were
the
around
time.
for
I'm
millions
invest-
of
I'm
years,
writing a
we
book
would be a
about it,
lot
so
more
that's what I'm
advanced
doing.
than we are now. I'm sorry. I'm
Sumeria
disagreeing with
wants
you
to enter the
wholeheartedly,
chat.
Ruben.
What happened?
So what?
No,
someone said
Ruben, Orange Hat said if we had been around for hundreds of thousands or millions of years, we'd be a lot further along than what we are. And I thought that'd be great, but wait, Sumeria is a thing, and I think that was destroyed on purpose because what they had at the time probably was a society that was getting very libertine thinking, and they were very advanced, and now they're just a partially
And so was
covered
Sparta.
clear. Yeah.
Oh, Sparta.
Sparta was a republic, yet they also still had slaves, or they also still had slaves.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
They were also considered the most advanced government of their time.
I mean, honestly, what country didn't have some type of slaves?
The slavery
when it comes
started
to the
in
whole
Africa
slave
by
argument,
Africans.
When it comes to the whole slavery
go
argument,
around.
every race enslaved themselves before they enslaved others.
Exactly.
I
Even the
think so,
Indians did
yeah.
it here locally.
Yes, because when during the tribal wars, that was pre-colonial, they took slaves.
Yes.
And sometimes they even intermingled and whatnot.
Do we have any viewers that are of English stock from up by Schenectady or somewhere in Messina, New York, or somewhere up there that's from their ancestors are from England? Because there's an Indian tribe in the 1790s to the 1820s. They took English slaves. The Indians took slaves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Barbary pirates, they did this in the 1800s. The Muslims
indigenous
captured
people,
Americans.
The peaceful people that we have stolen this land from,
No, he didn't steal any.
they took white people slaves.
Yep.
How can you steal something that was never claimed?
Trying to
When
remember.
it comes to the Native Americans, they have always said in their earlier days, this land is not our land. We just are here and we use it and we help it along. How can we have taken land from the natives when they never claimed it? They have claimed territory, sure. They never claimed the land itself.
Correct. But again, this is the whole argument. This is where basically people are arguing about the small things and about the large things. You have to start waking up and taking care of yourself. You have to basically, know the truth. It's just you, and that's it. You have to take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Feed yourself,
all
and that's what I'm
responsible
doing
for
here.
our
I'm
own
preparing.
lives.
I've sold everything. I have all I have now is my computers and my phone. That's basically it, and that's it. I've sold everything. I have nothing left. So now I'm trying to find a place to go, place to hunker down, and then do my thing. So that's where I am going now. But yeah, again, everything. It's so funny. If a car breaks down, I fix it. Open it up. What's wrong with it? Change a tire, change a belt, change a muffler, jump a car, cook, go and hunt,
Mhm.
learn how to sew if you need to sew. And then basically what I've been doing is, again, I have this overactive immune system that got me down, and I still have the tumors. But again, this whole year, the thing that I'm most grateful about for 2023 is that I finally figured it out through reading the ancient texts, what was wrong and how to fix it, how to fix myself. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm down 230 pounds in a year. I have 140 to go. And that's what I'm racing to get this done. So I'm done with this. And, it took me over a year to get away from Apple. Because as soon as I found out what they were doing to those kids in Africa in the cobalt mines, what they've done to the slave labor that they have in China that they don't care about. And it's not just Apple, it's Disney, it's Google, it's Amazon, it's everybody. It's just slave labor. They're
Tesla. As much as I love the Tesla idea, he's using lithium. I don't know of any way where we use 40-year-old men to dig with their hands to go grab lithium batteries out of the earth. I always see these African kids, these young African kids. They were healthy. They were, I don't know if they're healthy now, but that's always the image that I always see whenever I see lithium mining, or that, or like miles wide holes in the ground, which can't be good for the environment. I'm just saying.
But again, I go back to going back to the T-Mobile thing, going back to what like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. That's why, again, they pay the big actors what they pay. That's why you have OnlyFans girls making all this money. It's to dumb people down, to keep you locked inside, that you can talk to people. They're actually having kids now that can't order off the menu. They don't know how to order. They can't interact with people. It's again, they're interacting with what they call again, their phone, and they're having like an AI girlfriend or whatever, or they just give money to some woman online or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're not interacting. They're not socializing correctly. So that socialization, thanks to the smartphone, has made everyone dumb. Like I said, and it goes back. It's just a very sad state that we're all in now. And again, I blame one person, myself. And I said this before at the beginning of the year. I take responsibility for my life and what I've done. And I've done things that I regret because I used to work for all the you name the companies that are doing bad things, I've done them. I worked for McDonald's. I worked for Pfizer. I've done work for United Healthcare. I've done work I'm going through my whole list of the companies I worked for in my past.
Mm-hmm.
And everything excuse me?
Okay, you have to leave.
I'm going to have to go. Yeah, I got to.
Sorry.
Hey, Orange Hat,
thank you for joining us.
Hey, Orange Hat, your Wednesday show is a lot of fun to watch, man.
The single, or which ones? Wednesdays.
The one that you do with Jade.
Oh yeah, that's twice a month on her channel.
That's a fun show to listen to, and I had to watch Gremlins 2 again because you guys were talking about it, and I'm like, I'm getting some facts wrong. I thought I misremembered some things, but it happens. But usually I watch that movie back to back with the first Gremlins. But thank you for doing that. Good Christmas movie.
We're planning Nick Cage New Year's this or January, where it's going to be for both singles and 1s and 2s. We're probably going to do National Treasure 1 and 2 and Con Air and The Rock planned for Thursday singles.
The Rock, you have to do Face Off. That's the holy trinity of action movies.
Well, if we do a third singles, we'll definitely think about it. But she wanted to do Con Air because it's her favorite, and I wanted to do The Rock because it's my favorite. But yeah,
Rock.
It's the James Bond movie.
Yeah, but anyway, we do Thursdays. Yep, you're very welcome. We do Thursdays on my channel to do the same thing, essentially. Mm-hmm. But also Sunday is my weekly recap, which is basically just going to be going over the year and whatnot. But also Tuesday will be the beginning of the theme streams. My January theme streams are similar movies. Which one is better between the two? And I'm going to be starting off with 2 Christmas movies, Fat Man and Violent Night, which I actually just got done discussing with her last night, Jade Shadow.
Sweet.
So yeah,
But
you know,
there's a Kurt Russell movie that he does with Goldie Hawn. There's been
Mhm.
2 of them.
Overboard.
No,
it's
there's
Christmas
they're
Chronicles.
Christmas movies. They're
Oh,
they're
Overboard was
Netflix
great.
ones. They're
No, these
Netflix
are-
ones.
These are brand new Kurt Russell films, Janet.
Oh,
And he stars with his wife.
yeah. His wife was in Overboard.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
they
Right,
were.
better.
But this is like last year. They made these
Wait,
2.
are they married?
Yeah.
They've been married for a long time since Overboard.
I mean, I
back
know
in
they've
the
been
80s.
together, but I didn't know they were married. But yeah,
Are they married? Wait. Now I'm confused.
No,
they're
they
together,
never
but
ma-
not
I don't-
married. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they never married.
I
Yeah, they
think
never
they're
married.
don't
It
think-
doesn't matter. I mean, he's not going to go off fucking something else. He's got
No, no,
Goldie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got Goldie, but he's also got kids off of his relationships too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
he's got
Wyatt
his son. and looks
Wyatt
just
is
like
seriously
him.
talented.
Yeah.
Wyatt's
Yep,
a
I'm gonna
fucking-
get, but yeah,
please.
I do gotta get
after
going
we
'cause I
do-
gotta get some
after we
sleep.
do Monarch, we need to have another Escape From movie with Wyatt as Snake Plissken. He would do so good in that movie.
Yeah, he
I mean,
does.
he
look
was
like
also
that.
Wyatt played the same character as Kurt Russell in another
In Monarch.
movie, which was Soldier.
Yeah, that he
He
did.
played his younger self. Yep.
Mhm.
Anyway, folks,
Great movie.
thank you for coming, or thanks for allowing me on, and y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you for joining us,
And
and you have
yep.
a good night. Happy
everybody
New
else,
Year.
y'all have a good one. Have a happy New Year. I'll be on Sunday night. So yep, stay humble, folks. Later.
Bye-bye.
Baron G Rock got the
See
T
you later.
on that.
Yeah.
Despite never marrying, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are one of the longest standing couples in Hollywood, have been together since 1983.
Hmm.
For the past 40 years, they've been sharing the screen, blended their families, and welcomed a son and become grandparents to 7 kids.
Do you want to know what happened at the very beginning of the stream, Janet? I
Huh?
saw it. You want to know that you had the intro playing, but there was no visual. You just saw yourself.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
No, it's fine. It's fun. This is
It's
show. I didn't bring it up because I was
Ron
as
Brand.
I was trying to figure out
did
what was wrong with the computer. Well, I know what I did wrong. Not wrong. I did it right. So essentially what I did is I'm using Firefox for security, and I locked it down so that the audio and video would not work.
Mhm.
So then I had to go up into my other browser to make it work. So that's what I did wrong. So it wasn't my fault. Because I've been spending. That's what I did. I spent the entire week going through and then changing all the software. Everything's different. It's all. And I just made sure I locked everything down. So that's one computer. I have this one I'm on now. I got this one in 2020. It's the data science computer. Now it's going to be for everything. And then the other one I used before, I got this in 21. That's the security computer. And that's when I'm building up that one too. So yeah, I'm just getting ready for the shit show. It's really going to happen in 2024. The shit show is coming.
Yep, it's here.
Yeah, but the thing is that like Bruce would say,
Was that me?
Did Ruben just cut out?
Yeah, he's like frozen in time.
Yeah.
He's in the Matrix.
Chinese people found him.
Hopefully he'll come back. But yeah, I was sitting to say that I thought Overboard was a great movie. I thought it was really, really well done, and I love them I think they're adorable couple.
All
So I
right.
can
Hold
see
on,
why.
hold on, Janet. Hold on.
What?
Oh, I said hold on just a moment.
Oh,
I'm pulling up the stuff. We've got for February, I still need a recommendation in February for the 5th. So if you want to give me a movie to watch on the 5th of January, Janet, that'd be great.
I don't know what movie to pick unless you want to do the
you
one we
said-
just talked about.
You just said Overboard.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
movie. I loved it. Thought it was
All
really
right.
good.
Here we go.
And you like Kurt Russell.
I love Kurt Russell.
Yeah, so and I do too. I adore Kurt Russell. I think he's a great actor. And
My mom doesn't like to say it, but she used to think he was the bee's knees.
oh, really?
Yep. She liked him when he was doing Disney films, but when he started doing those nasty adult action movies, she quickly fell
You
in
mean
love.
like Escape from New York, that kind of stuff?
He hates that movie.
Well, did you see Bone Tomahawk by him?
I recommended my dad watch it without my mother. My mom cannot handle gore and viscera.
Oh my God, that movie was so scary to me. And what was scary, really bad about it is that my grandpa was telling me that a lot of the stuff that happened in that movie was real, that they really did stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is disgusting.
It wouldn't be the shit show without a problem, right?
That's right. But you
We're on brand.
you got trapped in time because it was like you were stuck
I know.
like that.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's stuck in the Matrix, is what I said.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I said, I'm basically doing certain levels of security on this, and sometimes they don't work. So I had to rebuild the system sometimes. So it does. Again, it's a hodgepodge of bullshit. I'm trying to get done here, you know.
Yeah.
But having fun. But again, I'm what like I said. Two things. Number one is I'm very grateful for this show on Fridays.
Mhm.
Very grateful for the year that I've been here on YouTube. And again, I've been on the YouTube since, my God, it's been like 14, almost over 14 years on YouTube. And I started off with, the idea that, yeah, let me lose some weight, but I didn't even know that I had these tumors, and I've had this thing my entire life. So now fighting every day because there is a reason to live. There
Mhm.
is a better tomorrow. And that's the thing. It's going to get darker and darker and darker. But the most important thing, and I put it on X, be the light in the darkness. Know what you need to do, and never question yourself. Keep pushing yourself to be a better person. That's what I'm doing, despite everything that's going on. Because again, I can't find work right now, so I'm starting my business again. But I've been really, battling this disease, and it's been tough. But 230 pounds later in 1 year, is good. So, but I have 140 to go. I can keep going. And then what I'm looking forward in the new year, looking forward to a new life, trying to find a place to live. I've been trying to look for places to go in the South. And I nailed it down to a few locations that I would like to go, but I still haven't, my heart's not into it yet. And I got to figure it out, and I'll be celebrating.
But don't you have to go where you have a job?
No.
Oh, so you're gonna do a job online then?
No, I don't. Okay, I'll say I don't work for people. I work with people. I've always done that. I'm my own subcontractor. If somebody says to me, "Come to the office," I'll tell them, "Like, fuck off," because there's no such thing. I've never gone to the office. But if someone says there's a job in Pittsburgh, I'll go because I like Pittsburgh. But again, if it's Cincinnati, excuse me,
I've never been to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is weird. Because when I first saw it, I didn't know it's like in a bowl. It's like in a pit. Well, Pittsburgh.
It's called Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but I didn't. It was very weird because again, it's like I landed at the airport. I guess I love to travel too. And I want to travel again. But when I landed there, and then the first time there, and then we go into the city, and it's like we're going downhill the entire time. I mean, literally, you're going down. You're going down, and going, and then when you made the turn, it's like you're looking into a pit and you see the city. It's like you're looking at it from an airplane view. It's like still like down there. I went, what the hell? And it was like you're going to drive and you're going to follow the road, but it was weird. But again, I've been to so many. I've been to like what? How many? I haven't been to like 4 states. I haven't been to Alaska. I haven't been to Montana, Idaho, or where else have I not been? Maine, but every other state I've been to. And in Asia and Europe and Canada and Mexico, I've been there too. But again, it's like, there's so many places, so many beautiful sites to go and see, and that's what I want to do, to get healed up, to be a better man, and to find that woman who wants to go on a journey with me, and and do it together, be at that partnership. We talked about it, Janet, before,
Yeah.
and that's the whole idea. And again, to be a real gentleman and do these things. And that's my goal is for the next year. Make it happen. And that's it. And that's all I can say. Just make it a good thing.
Make it so number one.
That's it. That's all I'm going to do. And that's the thing. And to continue doing this, having fun and fixing this damn computer, making it right. But again, this is going to be like this is the one I'm doing and experimenting with. The other one over here is going to be more hardened. It's my Snowden laptop, the one that Edward Snowden approves.
Yeah. Well, that's all we can do is just take everything one day at a time.
Yep.
And hopefully everything works out.
It will.
Especially when we don't know what the future has to offer. We don't know
I
what
just hope that,
tomorrow-
again, the one thing, again, going back to the shit show per se, I had to laugh completely about, I don't know if you have it here, but the one thing that made me laugh the most this week was the hubbubaloo from the religious right regarding the calendar that came out and calling it pornography, and it's just women with bathing suits.
Wait. Okay. I identify with religious right more than I identify with the little Baal statue that got its head taken off its shoulders. So I identify more with my religious right than I do with the little Baal statue that got decapitated earlier this week. Can you rescind and actually tell the tale of what the religious right was doing? Because I want to know. Sometimes they really fuck shit up. Like there was this thing called Dungeons and Dragons in the 80s.
They're doing that the same thing with this. They're saying that who was it? Sarah Gonzalez, Kylie Rains, Ashley St. Clair had put out the ultra right beer calendar, and they were all basically saying that this is pornography and this is not right. They shouldn't be doing this. And they're going, what are you doing?
Can we get a link for science purposes?
Let me find it,
please.
Hold on.
I have no idea.
I'm filling out. We're going to do used cars on the 1st of April. By the way,
You're going to use what?
We're going to review the movie Used Cars.
Ooh,
Does that sound familiar?
It's a Kurt
Who's
Russell.
in it?
Russell.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a damn good movie.
I think I've seen that one.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's funny as fuck.
I'll have to
but
see
it's-
the trailer or whatever to see if I remember it or not. But we'll see.
Okay, I'll put this in the chat so you can see it. It's this ultra right beer right there. You just click that link, and I'm going, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Do you want me to open it?
You can, yeah.
It says it can't reach this page.
What?
It says checking the proxy and the firewall.
Oh.
So I can't, it won't open.
Eh?
Hold on. Let me see if I can get in there.
Maybe I have too many little, I don't know, things it blocks off on my computer or something. I don't know.
Hold on. I got a key in my address or my birth date. Scroll down to the 70s. All right. Yeah, I'm a youngster. I know.
You got to enter. You entered something in. What?
Yeah. It asked me how old I was.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I never clicked this before. I never seen it.
ultrarightbeer.com.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get in it.
Here we go. Conservative
here we go.
dads. Go ahead, Janet. Share me.
I am sharing it. It's up there.
Ultra right beer, the calendar.
Oh,
Right.
it's good looking babes.
Hot women. Okay. Dana Lash, I would say no. She's got too much of a wine body on her. She's not a wine body, but
Yeah, but they're not in. There are only two women in bathing suits. Kylie Grains and Ashley St. Clair. The other ones are wearing just dresses, and red hair. Who is it? Oh, God, you got to go to Twitter. Red hair, anti-lib. Yeah. What is that?
Josie, the redhead libertarian. I don't know.
Yeah, if
Wearing
you go
a
to her Twitter,
She's
go to
wearing
her
a
Twitter
bra.
account.
She's not naked.
She's not.
No. So,
What the
bathing
fuck,
suits.
Christy Mayer? No.
No, go to Twitter. It's on X.
Oh, I love this. Queer theory can fall under obscenity.
He's a
and personal
redheaded.
harassment.
Is this one person?
Yeah, this is
It's one
is
of them that's out there.
Is she's on the calendar?
She's in the calendar, yes.
Brave.
And then people are about complaining about it.
They're complaining
Bing.
about her
Why are you
being in it.
Bing?
Is that what you're saying? They're complaining about the calendar overall, or they
Yes.
complaining that she's in the calendar?
They're complaining about the calendar. There it is, right there. Go back up, and we had it right there. One more, right there.
What is Calendar Gate?
The intro
God,
right
you gotta be
viewed
kidding.
on X explained. Internet communities are often defined by conflict, and the conservative movement in the United States is no exception. Through tense comment threads and theatrical flame wars, people find both comrades and enemies. The latest extremely online controversy centered on Elon Musk's X involves a debate over a calendar that shows a variety of conservative influencers and provocative poses. Some people found the calendar inappropriate while others defended it. Things escalated from there, and now George Santos is involved. Who the fuck is that? Let's break it down step by step. So we
They're
have
they're the pictures. If you zoom that, if you both stood up a bit, you'll see them. That's the extent of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So wait, she's got nice rack and she's in front of a cross on a door or in a door.
Wearing
jam.
with a pie.
Oh, I saw all these pictures already. What's wrong with them?
But that's what I'm saying. The religious right are going all ape shit about it,
This
saying
is-
it's sin and all this kind of crap.
I hope it causes more babies.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's wonderful.
I mean, I'm okay. Go back up. I want to see those ladies again.
Well-
Okay. I'm looking at all these women and I'm a woman. What's wrong with that compared to seeing all the other stuff that we just went through the last couple months over the gay stuff, right? And showing actual men having sex out in the open in the street during parades and stuff.
Because this
Okay.
is right wing people. That's kidding.
How
I
dare
know,
you
but I'd
the right
rather
wing's gonna
see-
get
bodies.
I'd rather see these ladies running around in skimpy outfits and seeing two people having sex.
There's
Right.
one skimpy
with
outfit right
children running
there.
around.
You've got another girl working out over here. And by the way, she's about 110 pounds. Keep on working and make sure you hit the protein, honey.
No, she needs to lose more weight.
Two small people. You know what? Hold on. I feel bad. You guys have no idea what I feel is
They're too skinny. Is that what you're
muscular.
thinking?
Yeah, they're too skinny. Let's get, something
Some
like
muscle on these girls.
No.
that's still very, very sweet.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Bruce likes girls that could take his head and smash it like a melon. With
Oh,
their
okay.
thighs.
that's
To
my
each his own,
true
to each his
too.
own.
Right, Bruce?
Yes. My too.
Yeah, he's like, I can't speak, I can't breathe, but that's okay.
That's what you want. What if I had the ability to speak? I'd just bitch.
Okay.
So
Yep.
let me muffle. Let me muffle. So this is
Yeah, my thighs do not look like that for sure.
it wouldn't take
I
long.
can't smash a watermelon with my thighs, even though I do work out every other day, but I'm not like that.
Men of culture, we have gathered here today.
Yeah.
It's a kernel.
Yeah.
So-
There's nothing wrong with that calendar. I think
There's
those girls.
nothing wrong with this calendar. I can't believe that's an actual fucking
No.
internet thing.
Yeah, but again, that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of the distraction. That's
It is distraction.
the gladiators. Basically,
Red and
it's
circuses.
are you in a red state or blue state? It's all uniparty.
Mhm.
Are you right or left? It's all uniparty. If it's
Mhm.
Republican or Democrat, if it's up or down, right or left, it's all within the construct of what's going on here, and I'm done with it. You know, that's
Ladies
why
like-
it's
Yeah,
like
I've gotten to where I can't even hardly tell anything. I don't even see a difference between the two. I don't
exactly.
fit in at either side. I'm
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
independent, basically now.
They're all it's all about tribalism. They
Mhm.
want you either believe me or you're out, and it
You're the
goes either
enemy.
way. Religious,
Yeah.
political,
if you don't
psychological, whatever.
believe or agree with me, you're wrong. That's
Exactly.
That's how they
That's the
all
thing.
act, and I'm sick of all that shit. I don't fit in anymore. I don't.
But that's
fit
what.
in.
But then, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That's why 2024 is going to be really, really, really weird on both sides.
Yeah, it's already gotten pretty weird, but yeah, I believe it's going to get worse.
Because again, they've
I'll
got
be
they've got
surprised,
the
honestly. I don't even think we're going to have an election. I think we'll be under martial law by then. They won't let us have one. I hate to say that, but
well, that's Civil War right there.
that's what I think. That's why I'm where I'm at, in the middle of no place, so I can try to stay alive as long as possible and maybe
Yeah.
outlast a lot
And
of
that's
people.
why, but again, that's the whole idea. That's what I'm saying. If things go really south, then you have to be locked down, and then they can track you. If you have a Google phone, an Apple phone, you will be tracked.
Look, you
you
gotta see this.
Microsoft or excuse me.
Sorry,
Me
I
as a
was like,
child, tits in a candy bar. Me as an adult, tits in a beer. Nothing new under the sun. I'm not a big Dana Lash fan. I'm happy she's got her 2A rights, but the
Mhm.
NRA's done nothing for the 2A compared to like other companies or other organizations like the Gun Owners of America, which
Mhm.
have never fucking buckled. The NRA folds over like a Turkish prisoner.
Well, that's it's mainly a political engine now. It's not really has no teeth.
It's completely toothless.
Yeah, and that's that's the target of the left. It's the target. It's the target. They're willing targets, just like the Republican Party. That's why
Mhm.
basically they're toothless. So when Obama went in and then Biden's now and they put him in, they let him do what he wants, and then again they didn't. That's why the whole McCarthy thing was this big stupid thing, and then now he's basically saying I'm out at the end of the year, which is in a few days, because they don't care. They don't want anything. And then who's the one that said the best? There's actually two that said it pretty good. The first time was Pence. Remember when he was talking with Tucker Carlson, and he basically said, "What about the American people? I don't care about the American people." He said that.
Yep.
And the one who just said it recently also was, in a certain way she did, was Haley with if saying China and Russia are have Russian bots. So I want to know everybody's name. I want everyone to be have ID.
Yeah.
I wanna know-
Everybody
it's
identified
bullshit.
on this.
I didn't agree with her. I think she really screwed up when she said that to people like me, because I don't trust her as far as I can throw her.
And
So
that's
I
the whole
would never
idea.
vote
And that's
for
the
her.
whole idea. And that's where it gets to the scenario.
Nikki Haley belongs
Anything
with the war.
happens, it's Russia or China. That's
Mhm.
their message. Nord
And
Stream
I think
pipeline, we know what happened. They're going to blame Russia or China. The
Mhm.
economy goes down, Russia or China. The spy balloons there, Russia or China. Then when you get into EMP, and they're causing it too. The religious
Yeah,
wars.
and remember what I said? What was it, a couple shows ago to you? I said that something big's going to happen, but it's not going to be Russia or China. It's going to be our own government that's doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
100%. I 100, and almost all my friends on X believe the same thing, because we actually are using our brains, looking at everything that's been laid out for us the last few years. How can you? Common sense tells you that it's not.
Yeah,
these
but
other
but the thing is that the
our
fix
own
is
country.
in for the media. I don't watch news anymore. I don't because
I
I
don't either.
read everything, but I don't watch, because again, watching is just it's basically when you watch something that someone talking or a newsreader, they're not reporters, they're newsreaders talking. They're
I'm an
reporting.
actor.
Excuse me?
I'm an actor.
Yeah, basically. It's not
They're reading
real
a
anymore.
teleprompter.
Yeah, it's a teleprompter
Mhm.
essentially. But the thing is that there were 2 articles that came out. I've looked for them. One from last year. It says doing your own research is dangerous.
Oh,
It
yeah, I
leads
remember
to
that.
going down. It leads to conspiracy theories, and it's
Mhm.
and it's like terrible what they're spewing. So anybody who didn't do what everyone else does
Our
is considered
democracy.
a subversive or divergent, which I am completely, and I've always been in my entire life.
Mhm.
That's why I don't have any friends, because I don't talk to people
Oh,
because
you
I
have
think they're morons.
friends.
No,
You
no,
have
no, no, no.
friends. I'm your friend.
No,
Bruce is your
but
friend.
growing up,
Okay, but I'm saying
growing up, I didn't
if
talk
you
to
were
anybody.
that type of person, you wouldn't be able to make friends because you just wouldn't have the capability basically of doing it, but you do. So you just weren't in the situation when you were a kid to be able to get to know people and get to be friends with them.
Because they're all
that's the only-
morons.
Well,
They still
what
are.
I'm saying is, but the thing is if you'd had more opportunity to meet other people that were in the same predicament as you, I think you would have had a lot of friends. It's just that didn't, didn't
True.
come up.
True, but it's
But
just
just
fine.
me,
I'm better off
I
because
feel like
again,
I would have had a lot more friends.
I'm indifferent to them now. That Laredo, Texas could have a nuclear blast. I wouldn't give a shit.
I think that is so sad because there are so many hot, desirable women who want to be built like Colombian girls.
God, it's a
And
bad
of course-
take. You have the worst takes.
I'm fine. I'm gonna sleep with a fan on tonight. I tell you, and you're shitting on Laredo, which that is the home of like feed me information because we're too stupid to think for ourselves. And I love Laredo, but that is a gateway town. That's all it has ever been.
Gateway
It's a
to hell.
fear- It's you've got people that live there that work primarily in oil and gas, and the other side of the town works for basically the government, and they control the gates and the
There's
access
3
and-
jobs there, but well, 4. One is trucking.
Mhm.
2 is oil and gas. 3 is education, and 4 is prostitution.
You really give a lot to education. I'll agree with prostitution. I met a lot of prostitutes in Laredo. I'm not proud of that one, but they're all
Well,
on the
education is
social
like
media.
the only legitimacy is working for the government. Well, teachers and government. It's like if you're a teacher, you're a government worker, basically.
Mhm. I mean, it's no. Don't call it a public school. Call it a government school.
Yes,
That's what it is. It's an indoctrination center.
Yeah.
Janet, I want to share something. I think we need to rearm ourselves on something.
Yeah,
Ready?
go ahead.
They can't hear anything. No sound.
Are you fast forwarding it or something? Bruce,
Earth to Bruce.
Yes.
Welcome to the shit show, everybody.
there's no sound.
Why is there no sound?
I don't
Because
know.
it's turned
We can't
on.
hear anything.
This makes me sad. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this.
Okay.
Okay. Go back to present this. I'm sorry, guys. I
Gary
know.
would be proud of you. Just
No
kidding.
big deal. That's why it's called the shit show.
Exactly.
Tab
I think my
audio.
computer-
So if we fuck it up, it doesn't matter.
Did you hear that?
I think so. Let's try it again.
No.
CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of bias.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and
everyone
play
is
from the beginning
doing
now.
the exact same thing because they're reading from.
Yeah.
Teleprompter.
Teleprompters.
That's all
Communities,
this is.
Eastern Iowa communities.
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But We are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our
Look at how these people, the ones that were talking, look like they're the paid actor. The sad sack standing next to them looks like they're the sympathetic piece of shit that they are. Like, I've just lost a dog. It got hit in traffic, and now I've got to report the weather.
Country.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what
George Carlin was right.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our
We don't live in
democracy.
a democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our 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 democracy.
Yeah. fuck
This
you,
is
Faggot.
extremely
That's fine.
dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Did she have a stroke?
Yeah, she looks like
This
she
is
did.
extremely
You got
dangerous
the jab.
to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our
Who's
democracy.
writing
Yeah.
their
This is
script?
extremely.
Someone's
And look
one
up there.
person
This is
writing
this
their
again.
script
This
for
is the
every single
Sinclair
news
News
channel?
Group.
Yeah,
You
this
know
is
what I mean?
Sinclair.
Dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Oh, this fucking idiot.
As much as
Can you
I,
share that with me, that link? I want to share it on my X.
yeah, no problem.
But the
Now,
thing is,
you're gonna hear
somebody's
people say-
writing that script for everybody.
Oh, and
thing
the
is,
other thing
we
too.
don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic.
Right.
But when they
Well, and the
tell
other thing also, Bruce,
people-
every time, well, again, I already locked it down. Every video you watch on YouTube is flagged too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got my own satellite. The NSA loves me.
So it's crazy. Yeah, it is fear mongering. That's all it is. It's just basically trying to get again, trying to basically, again, I go back to the 1,000 years ago or more than that, when the lords and the ladies in the towers, you know, before the Magna Carta was written, and would basically during the Black Plague would basically blame who's at fault here, who caused the Black Plague. And then you go, it's the dirty villagers that are not clean. They are dirty. They are causing all these problems. And villager is where villain comes from. The word villain is the root is villager. So they basically, the elite point and say it's them. And now the elite are pointing at us and saying that they are the problem.
Mhm.
Remember, in Canada, it was the truckers shut down their bank accounts. You know, it's the people, and again, they're talking about it now. Those that didn't get vaccinated, they're sick. You know,
I do have another
or
good
they're the ones that are going to get people sick, and they'll die. And now everyone who got the jab is getting sick, which is ridiculous.
Mhm. Yep.
So I've got an interesting story here
Mhm.
from the Gateway Pundit. Pro Black Lives Matter corporate giants Google and Meta joined a growing list of virtual signaling companies that slashed their diversity budgets in 2023 amid a rough year for the tech industry. Some companies have laid off diversity, equity, and inclusion staffers and leaders of diverse employee resource groups, downsized learning and developmental programs, and cut budgets for external DEI groups as much by 90% in 2023. CNBC reported Friday. The DEI cuts are a laughable reversal of the virtue signaling bluster some companies trumpeted in the wake of the BLM riots following the May 2020 death of Saint George Floyd.
Suicide?
Mm-hmm. Many woke corporations. He was so sad he had to jump on that needle full of fentanyl.
Yeah.
Many corporations bent the knee to race hustling grifters who have, by the way, been unable to answer as to where all their millions of dollars went. By donating money to Black Lives Matter and investing millions to expand so-called diversity programs to hire more Black workers. By mid-2023, DEI-related job postings had declined 44% from the same time a year prior, according to data provided by the job site Indeed.com. CNBC reported. That's a sharp contrast with the period from 2020 to 2021, when these postings expanded nearly 30%. This makes only sense when your company's not doing well because of a tough economic climate rocked by crippling inflation, hiring scores of people solely on the basis of their skin color, as opposed to actual qualifications. This is a dumb move. Devika Bridge, the CEO of an eponymous consulting group, said some of her clients reduced their DEI budgets by as much as 90% this year. When George Floyd began to become the topic of conversations, companies and executives doubled down on their commitments, she told CNBC. And here we are only a couple of years later, and folks are looking for opportunities to cut those teams. But it's not just corporations that are scaling back on affirmative action style programs. In September, Boston University's farcically named Center for Anti-Racist Research laid off almost half of its staff just 3 years after launching. The implosion occurred shortly after left-wing billionaire Twitter founder Jack Dorsey, who our friend Soy-Based Jeremy says, cringe motherfucker Jack Dorsey, donated $10 million to the race scripting project. Hopefully, the recent DEI cutbacks indicate a sea change is afoot, and woke corporations are realizing that infusing equity into major business decisions will have catastrophic consequences. This is what happened in South Africa. South African author Riaan Malan, a white journalist who fought against apartheid, said the United States will crater into the same anarchy and poverty that afflicts his homeland if it keeps caving to toxic wokeness. His 2021 New York Post commentary, How Equity Ideology Plunged South Africa into Inequality and Chaos. He recounts how white guilt destroyed his country. He said the implosion began when South Africa replaced a meritocracy with affirmative action, lavishly catered to the black population to make amends for apartheid. Tendering for government businesses became increasingly pointless because contracts were invariably awarded to black-owned firms, even if their prices were double, triple, or tenfold. For years, South African companies obsessively hired and promoted black workers, whether or not they brought anything to the table besides black skin, Malon wrote. He added firms were also required to meet racial quotas in hiring and ensure that management was racially representative, meaning roughly 88% black. The harebrained eradication of standards in the name of elevating equity decimated South Africa's economy and led to a breakdown in society, Malon recalled. The rest of this article, I will post this in the chat. So,
but what's so funny?
Go
the
ahead.
Same time that this is going on, you have the left complaining about Argentina and who is it? Hassan, I think it was, or some dumbass on YouTube was complaining about what Milley's doing. He's becoming a fascist. And again, everybody in Argentina is having a good old time now. They're being liberated, and he cut like what? My God, he went from 21 government agencies to 7 or something like that. He just cut them all.
He cut the government horribly. It's great. We need that.
I know. It's like that's all. And then you got the left complaining about it.
And they're probably saving a fortune. I mean, it can't even imagine how much money our country would save if we cut half the government. Just cut our government in half.
But again, the thing is that we have to remember the American empire is built upon war,
lies,
and control,
lies,
and
oil. Lies. Media.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, basically. And again, I see it now that I'm pissed at myself because I didn't see it sooner. No, I did see it, but I didn't. I really thought that there were not good people. I thought there was the majority of the Republican Party had their good thing, a good path on their. It's not. It's very, very little. It's very, very small.
Let's see, like Laura Logan. I mean, if we could have real journalists like Laura Logan, on the daily news to talk to us about stuff, I would feel really good about that.
But that's the whole thing.
They're not going to let people
I don't
like
understand.
Logan be in the news.
They always ask, who are you with? Like, oh, you have to be credentialed to report. What is this credentialed shit? If you see something and you have a right to say something, it doesn't like if I decide to say something, I see something and I want to report it or give my opinion on something or tell the truth, which is really what I'm talking about. What do I need a credential for? It's a truth, you know. The truth has no credential. The truth is the truth. And again, this going back to this whole idea, the Sinclair Group or the Hearst Corporation or you know, Clear Channel. It's all these corporations that are controlling everything, and it's basically. And for the longest time, I said, at least we don't have state-run television. Yes, we do. It's all state-run. It's all government or funded.
For sure.
So it's and the only bastion of there's two the two main ones are X and Rumble right now, because Parler got shut down, and again that was a concerted effort, and they don't say anything. They can still go after it, because you had the lunacy in Colorado, and then the lunacy in Maine, which was reversed, which is so hilarious. And within 24 hours, she changes her mind, because again, there was no insurrection, idiot. Oh yes, there was by Biden's cronies, by Obama, really, you know, still. And Obama's not really behind it. It's Bill Ayers, it's Dorn, it's all the globalist bullshit. And again, the idea that that his accounts, Soros accounts, all the accounts should be locked down, frozen. Completed. We do this for governments, rogue governments. We do it for rogue agencies.
I think so, but I wish I was in charge when it comes to certain things. But
stop spending all the money.
Ever let someone
get rid of the Department of Education. Get rid of it. Department of Energy. Get rid of it. Department of bullshit. We should be building nuclear power plants all over, and start getting farms all over, and then start, you know, getting the lands. We should be stewards of the land, you know, and stop doing stupid stuff. There's no climate crisis. There's no global warming. There is no recycling. Is the stupidest thing you've ever done. Anybody, it's just done. I'm done with all this stupid stuff. Everything that they push is stupid.
You know what's sad though is if somebody had the money and they made up a group like Project Veritas kind of group, you know, of people to go around and follow all the different stuff like the recycling and the truth behind the scenes when they're setting up all these climate change groups and all that stuff, so you could see the inside scoop of how they get.
But the irony is they were doing that, and then the board got infiltrated, and Project Veritas turned on O'Keefe. So now he's so that's
what
the
I
whole
mean
thing.
is, even if you had all that proof and you had these shows doing that, you still have millions and millions of people that can watch it, see it happening, and still go, "Oh, that's not true."
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
See, that's what's sad about where we are right now.
And that's why I say 95% of people are still asleep.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think a lot of people are still asleep. I don't think it's 95%, but I think it's maybe 70%. 70% are still sleeping.
Well, what does it take? What does it take to actually take back this country? What does it take?
It's going to take it having to happen, just like I said, when it's their child that's being dragged off to war. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take something that drastic for these families to open their eyes and say, "Fuck you guys, we're not doing it. We're not doing this anymore."
Yeah,
that's
but
what's sad about it.
But again, they know that.
That's the biggest sacrifice ever, and that's why I think it's going to be something that major before all the rest of these people's eyes. Even then, this is another thing that's scary to me, is even if it's their kid that's about to go to another country and fight for something that has nothing to do with saving our freedoms or taking care of us, some people are still going to say, "Oh, well, that's the sad part about it."
Yeah, because you had those people. Who was it? There were some on TikTok. The Libs of TikTok was talking about it. It was weeks ago.
Yeah,
where they had especially with the special libtards, basically, and this, the little dainty ones, saying that, with war starts, I'm not going. I'm going to send those guys, to basically saying, I'm not. You don't want me on the front lines. I can't even. You want. They're going to send you. You love war so much. Go out there. No, we're not doing it. You're going to go.
Yeah, it should be all the dum-dums that voted for these people.
Yes.
That's who should have to go sacrifice themselves, is the ones that wanted this shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, what Durbin did and Duckworth did with the whole idea that they want the people who come over from illegally to basically then you get a pass, you get to be part of the military. The bad part of that is what they're going to do is that, yes, if you bring somebody here who's never had the American experience, like Obama, who's never an American, never had the American experience, and you bring them here, they're going to bring their values there. And their values in other countries is the government does lock down, does shoot people in the streets, and they will do it here because they don't have the American experience. They will turn on us because they want to hire these people, bring them in to infiltrate, to take jobs, to ruin the economy. There are veterans that are being kicked out of shelters. You mentioned it last time, Thanksgiving. They fed the migrants first, and there was nothing left for seniors or veterans. Mm-hmm. This country, this government, this elite are pissing on veterans big time.
Yeah. Besides that, I was hearing people complain in a couple spaces this last week when they were saying that a lot of these families in the big cities, okay, inner city people, were standing in line to get, their handouts, like their meals that they take home for their family and things like that. These people on these food lines or whatever type of thing. And they were mad because by the time they showed up to get in line, they already ran out of food because they gave it to all the illegals, and they were mad because they didn't get anything.
Right.
And because they're on the food, the food stamps and all that stuff, and they were expecting to get meals, and there wasn't any because they gave them away. So now, see, it's starting to affect them with the illegals walking over the border and being handed food, clothes, right, money, and all that. So now it's taking that away from the people that are used to getting the food and stuff for not doing stuff. And now they're starting to see their lives are changing. See, now it's affecting them. So now they're starting to get upset.
But the thing is that what's going to happen is, again, the majority of these people who are on the food stamps and all that stuff, the classic, historical, poverty and historical no motivation, are the ones that, mm-hmm, were out there, robbing stores, breaking, looting and all that stuff. So mm-hmm, they are going to resort to that need. And again, who said it best? AOC said it. They're just taking food because they're trying to feel she's excusing it, the whole defund the police aspect. So you're going to start to have, and there's already happening, where you're going to have the underground economy people, like in New York, where the prostitution is now rampant again in New York. It's the 70s again. It's just terrible what they're doing. The crime, and I'm waiting to happen is, remember when we had that huge surge of those different diseases that came with prostitution, mm-hmm, and then AIDS, and then other now
stuff.
It's going to happen, okay, another one.
See, but now you have all these people whose immune systems are already messed up because they got the jab, they got the boosters, they did all this different stuff, and prostitution's going up, right? Again, right. And people aren't getting the health care they need at all because nobody can afford it. So all these other things that came along with it before are now going to get, like, I think 10 times worse.
Yes.
Because people our immune systems are shutting down. You know,
Yep,
they're
exactly.
already the cancers, the heart problems, all the other stuff already. And now you're going to have all these venereal diseases and who knows what else coming
I know,
along
it's crazy.
with all this. It's scary. The whole thing scares me to death, because the sad fact about it is AIDS is something you can get and you don't have to have sex with anyone. We know that now, right? All you have to do is, like, if that person wiped their nose or their mouth with their hand and they grab the doorknob and then you open the door right after them and it's on your hand now. See what I mean? Because they were talking about the tests they were running when AIDS was prevalent, that people were getting AIDS from other people just from bodily fluids, not from actual intercourse and stuff.
Oh dear.
So
God.
you got to think about that now with lower immune systems and stuff now, the susceptibility of children and other people, because the kids are dying of heart attacks at 14.
Well, those
because they got the
morons.
shot. So
Yeah, just I'm at that point now. I don't care anymore. It's like,
I know,
it's like,
but that's what I'm saying. That you were asking earlier about how much more is it going to take for people to finally wake up, and I'm saying this is the kind of thing that's going to wake people up, because now it affects them personally. Remember?
yeah, but how many people
is it
have
too late?
had heart conditions that had happened, and there's still no outcry. There's still nothing going on. It's still not happening.
Well, I'm seeing more and more on Twitter. I'm seeing more and more spaces for the vax injured, more and more people talking about it, more and more posts about vax
True, they're
injured,
talking about
all
it
that.
there, but it's
Yeah,
not
but
in
that's
the
what I'm saying.
mainstream yet.
Yeah, because you're not going to see it on the news. They're not going to talk about it. The only way you're going to see it is on Rumble, a little bit on YouTube, the Instagram, on Telegram, on all these other platforms. That's how it's going to get shared.
But that's
But I'm
basically
seeing
the
it
choir
blowing
talking
up on
to
X.
itself. It's an echo chamber still.
Mhm.
It's
I
not.
know.
It's on the consciousness yet. So
Until we can get a media company, like I said about like Project Veritas was, and people like Laura Logan, she's talking about it. I mean, just like I watched her the other day or a couple weeks ago with Monica Matthews interviewed her on one of the spaces, and she talked about how all these companies are calling our country a democracy, just like we just saw in that news article thing. And she said, she said, we're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. There's a huge difference. But when you tell people that over and over and over again, they're all starting to believe it. And you look it up. We are not a democracy.
yeah,
We have to stand up and tell people, when you said that, you're wrong. And I do that. I do it all the time. But until more and more people do it, it doesn't make that much difference, because you're not, it's like you said, we're in a vacuum, basically. We're sharing our
but again, like I
information
said,
with other
95% of people
over
are
and
asleep still.
over.
They still really are asleep.
And those people that are asleep are they're going to be the ones that aren't going to have anything left when it comes to that time, because just like I said, in the big cities, water, after 4 days of without water, you're going to die.
Yeah, but that's when people are going to start to do desperate things.
Yeah, and it's going to get really, really bad, because
and the first people who are going to suffer are the old, the infirmed, and the young.
Yeah,
when it's happening now, because like I said, like the veterans are being taken advantage of, children are being taken advantage of, and again, and they're trying to empower women. That's the whole culture of the sexual revolution, which is now perverted into something that's very grotesque, where you have basically OnlyFans and all this stuff, and then you have the guys with AI on there and stuff. So it's all part of the plan. And I see it now when I'm basically looking at, just, jobs. Everyone wants AI this, and they're going, no. I'm AI. I'm an AI ethicist. And no, I'm done with all this crap. Because again, it's basically, the algorithms that they build, they're proprietary. Haley was right in the way to have it open source, but not reviewed, audited. It has to be audited, auditable. You have to audit everything, and they're not doing that. So, and I don't want regulation. I just want it to be open. It's like it should be. Everything should be FOSS, free and open source software. Basically, it's FOSS.
Well, all I know is that we have 2024 is coming in a few days, so we're going to have to try to fight for what's left of our country, and hopefully we'll have an election next year to where maybe we can make a difference. And I'm one of the people that always hound people about it's grassroots. We have to take our towns back, and then we can take back our states.
Right.
I mean, our state, Arkansas, we have been doing the grassroots. That's why we have Sarah Huckabee now, Sanders, as our governor. And she's already made bold statements and changes in our state because she said everything she said she's doing. She's trying to do everything she told us she was going to do. And by kicking out China, not letting them buy all that land, not letting them open in certain factories, things like that. She's doing what she can as a governor, and we're backing her. And see, the thing is, the people have to support what they say they wanted, just like you were saying. And if they're not awake and paying attention, when something happens,
they're still asleep.
Changes, yeah. But when something happens to your schools and you're able to make a change to change the school back to what you thought you were griping and complaining about 2 years ago, and now you had the chance and now you're not available, well, you miss out. That's what happens if you're not there when the time comes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to keep my head above water and be ready for when the time comes, I can actually do something. But yeah, it's almost midnight. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you very much for helping me tonight and hanging out with me. Thank you, Bruce.
I'm posting links into the chat.
I've
Stuff we didn't get a chance to talk to yet.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring that up before midnight because I saw you had something down there and I was about to bring it up, but we were in that discussion. So you bring it up and I'll open it up again.
Okay. Let me see here. I gotta open us up on YouTube and get that link right because as I'm pushing things in, I realize I can close this. Oh, Bruce, don't do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, the link I'm pulling up. This is the Chinese spy balloon. We talked a little bit about this when they were flying over us.
Yeah,
they were flying right over us, and they completely were using our web. They're using our internet to transmit photos of all of our nice little sites and such. This is last January, the Biden administration. While we're talking about this little Megan girl, the little girl, the cop that had sex with 5 other cops.
Yeah, I remember that.
On. Same time.
It was a distraction.
Yep. And so it soared over nuclear silos and military installations across the U.S. with Joe Biden's full approval. Okay. It was shot down over the Atlantic off the coast of Carolinas. And it had explosives to self-detonate, was 200 feet tall and weighed thousands of pounds. So General Miley, disgraced General Miley, he has an honorable discharge. He has a full retirement. You're going to pay for him to live the rest of his life on U.S. military care. Okay.
Well, he served his purpose.
He's a piece of shit. Like 90% of the other fucks in the fucking Pentagon, pieces of shit. Anyway, collecting data and as it flew over the continental U.S. and kept this from the American public. But they used U.S. internet to communicate as it soared over the U.S. and gathered information. So while the surveillance balloon transited the United States in early 2023, it used the American Internet Service Provider to send short periodic transmissions of data related to nav and locations back to China, according to U.S. officials. It was one of the ways we were able to track the location and gather information on the balloon as it transited across the United States. CNN was not able to identify the ISP. They've previously reported that officials said the balloon was capable of communicating with Beijing as it traveled across the U.S. I bet you it used America Online. What's the biggest fucking ISP? That's the one they probably used. They reported the balloon. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ruben.
They're
You
going to
just
claim
cut
they
out.
use Starlink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to claim it with Starlink, I bet. But I'm pretty certain it didn't use Starlink. I'm thinking it used like Spectrum or Time Warner or something like Comcast, some shit program that you can't ever get, tech support in without buying another fucking service for $39.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And get the right person, but they use their web. They use the web that you pay for to give all the United States secrets away.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in communication with Beijing the whole time, and that was
Yep.
not used to transmit intelligence back to China, according to them, that stored the information for later, including imagery and other data, which should have been shot down and never recovered. But I'm certain all of the hard drives were beamed back to China. Anyway, that is the interesting story numero uno.
Yeah, our government would probably pick it up and hand deliver it to China.
So
Sounds
second
really
story.
mean, but I believe it.
Keep your eye on where Trump is allowed to be on the ballot. I'm certain those tickets are going to have problems. They're going to have a lot of problems in 2024 trying to get Trump on the ticket.
Mhm.
Colorado Supreme Court disqualifies Trump, and so Maine follows suit. This lady here, Sheena Bellows, she unilaterally barred Trump from the 2024 ballot because she decided the former president is an insurrectionist. She doesn't have a fucking clue.
They reversed it too.
Yeah, this as of 2 hours ago, is this my bad?
The Supreme Court of that
2
state
hours.
reversed it, right?
No,
I-
she did.
She did? Okay.
She went back and changed her mind.
Yeah, because of the
Oh,
backlash. That's so
Yeah.
dumb.
Oh,
Wow.
that's crazy.
I just think it's funny how all these politicians all of a sudden think they can change laws on their own, and a court can't change law.
But you have to remember something.
Mhm.
The Democratic Party plays the long game.
Mhm.
They've been playing this since the 1850s. Okay, remember they did the same thing to the first Republican nominee. It took him off the ballot in states, and that was Abraham Lincoln.
Mhm.
Yep.
And doing it again. And they played the long game because I remember right after the 2000 election, where people still believe that Bush didn't
was
win.
for.
They basically said, and I saw this, that they said, we have to do this because they basically said Catherine Harris, the Florida Secretary of State, gave Bush the election. So they vowed to control every single Secretary of State. And of late, you have this one in Maine. And of course, the most famous one of all, or infamous of all right now, recently was Katie Hobbs, who was Secretary of State in Arizona.
Mhm.
And they do this. The Secretary of State's the one that certifies the election. And that's why in 2020, they had their plants, Soros plants, all the
Mhm.
Secretary of States go out there and take the election away from Trump. And that's what they did. It's all part of the plan. And it was 20 years in the bill. They played the long game.
So
We have to play the long game too.
speaking of the long game, over 250,000 encounters at the southern border. So there's probably about an extra 300,000 people that don't belong here that are here just in the month of December.
Mhm.
These are encounters involve people that are gotaways. When they say encounters, think of that as he was faster than I was.
Yep.
Right. So
Like
Joe
Bigfoot.
Biden's America, record number of illegal aliens crossed the southern border in December. It's not even over. We got two more days.
This is
Mhm.
why I want to go to
So-
Laredo and just pull out a gun. and
It's,
shoot
it's,
everyone
it's
that comes
not
across.
just Laredo; it's the entire fence.
No, I'm just saying. I just like doing that. Literally, I don't know why. What get some gators, throw them in the Rio Grande, and then just catch wood chipper. Just catch
How
get
come
the thing.
people haven't done that yet?
I don't know. I should go and do that, or I should just get a
mean,
sniper rifle and just go ahead and pick them off
You
one
just
by
go
one.
and you just
Why would
go
you-
with a
why-
few
don't do
other
it with a sniper
hunters and you
rifle.
grab some gators and you start driving and putting them in the canals. They can
Go back,
take care of
go back.
themselves.
Go back and put it
Yeah.
all in English so that they don't read it, so that when they do step in the landmines, they just go in little parts.
Yeah. And that'll feed the
Your
gators.
new pronouns are here and over there.
Yeah, basically.
Here and there.
Okay, so there have been over 250,000 encounters with illegal aliens at southern border of the month a few days ago. More than 300K in illegals have crossed over the border by December 31st. The previously September held the record with 269,735 illegal alien encounters. Apparently, Joe Biden wants to outdo the record. So anyway, there's a Fox News quote there, and there's another caravan with 15,000 illegal aliens. It's an invasion.
Is that the one with is that? Did you see the one with the van?
This one here?
No, the other one, the newest one that I saw with vans and buses.
I'm happy they're showing the buses and vans now, because up until now they've been showing them only on foot. They're clean. They have cell phones.
Brand new shoes.
Brand new shoes.
Yeah, if you pay attention, you can see it. They got brand new shoes on. They all have cell phones, and they all look like they got brand new clothes. So somebody's paying them to romp over to the United States. So, and over the border, jobs are waiting for you.
So while we've got that at the southern border, the Biden administration is smacking around a Christian university, and they go a step further after unprecedented fine. So they're going against a Christian college in Arizona, where the FTC has announced a lawsuit against the school alleging false advertising. Grand Canyon University in Arizona, the nation's largest Christian school, with a lawsuit against the school. The marketer Grand Canyon Education Inc. and the president, CEO Brian Mueller, alleges they perpetuated false advertising and conducted illegal telemarketing practices, according to FBN. The FTC claims that GCU and GCE told prospective students that the tuition total cost of GCU's accelerated doctoral programs was equal to the cost of just 20 courses or 60 credits. In reality, they require on almost all doctoral students taking additional continuation courses that add thousands of dollars in costs. This is not exclusive to this college.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going for a doctoral degree in any college, you're going to be forced to take extra classes, continuing your studies. You have to do another semester in something you did 3 years ago because things have changed. This is not normal. This is not unusual. What's not usual is actually the Biden administration going after the school for fucking money and shaking them down. Mm-hmm. That's all the Biden administration is.
They're
the Biden
going
administration
after the school to get rid of them. Because
they're trying to get rid of the school because
it's a Christian school.
Oh, okay.
They're a Christian school, and they are the largest in the nation, and the Biden administration says that they have the money. So anytime you take a doctoral degree, you're going to be forced to take continuing courses and continuing education. Before you do the classes that you are focusing on, you got to re-up on the classes you did 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just... Huh? Yeah. My boss is going through this right now. My boss's wife, she's got a PhD. She has to do her continuing education. She has to do...
You see, that's what I'm saying. The education system's stupid. You know?
I'm not disagreeing. So
this is dumb. It's dumb.
And this is a college that they're really not. They've been holding themselves out as a nonprofit institution, and they misrepresent the cost of the number of courses required to earn doctoral degrees. So anyway, the FTC is just completely hammering them, and they are a nonprofit institution for the most part, because what money they're pouring into the system, it's going right back out to the people that are teaching at that college. That's actually not a bad college. If you've got a good kid, I'd send them there before I send them to a state U. Anyway, this is the FTC. They lied about the cost of the doctoral programs to attract students to enroll. And the FSA takes its oversight responsibility seriously. This is a threat to our democracy. Okay.
What?
Yeah,
it is. These guys, it's just part of the shit show.
Yep, 100%.
So that's the war on the Christian college in Arizona. Beef companies CEO stands up to Big Pharma. I'll shut down my entire company before we ship a single bag with mRNA injected meat. So this is making noise. Whole Cows been making a lot of advertisements in the last 6 months. Whole Cows has been watching developments and all the beef and dairy stuff. mRNA is being shoved into a lot of mainstream food.
Yep.
Been happening since 2018 with pork. For some vaccines, they're wanting to do it with the big ones because you people haven't been taking the vaccine, so we're going to feed it to you. So
Yeah,
Whole Cows,
we know that you guys are eating a lot of carnivore diets, so we want to shove it down your throat. It's pitiful.
So Jason Nelson has been watching developments closely. The company specializes in shelf-stable freeze-dried meat for long-term storage. Has vowed to never allow gene therapy cattle into their food supply through their products. Gateway Pundit benefits when you purchase them from the links and link below. I'll shut down the company before we ship a single bag of mRNA injected foods. That's why we're growing as quickly as we can so we can achieve the buying power to produce large amounts. Their food's not bad. Actually, it's really good. So they're going for both transparency and to halt the push for mRNA jab beef. They've hit a roadblock. In Missouri, a bill that would have forced labeling of beef injected with mRNA vaccines was stalled in committee.
Oh, shut up.
No, they've stalled the bill out.
Oh, you fucking idiots.
There's a shake. There's money shaking.
I know. It's all bullshit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I gotta find. And Missouri was on my list of places to go. I should go there and kick some ass.
Why don't I wouldn't worry about it. I would still go to Branson, still go to Missouri, still go to Joplin or Springfield, and still go enjoy life over there. There's plenty of small town farmsteads that will go to a specific butcher or shop, and they don't go through the mainstream cattle processing. I would go with that.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that go to the farmers markets, around in the rural areas, and they'll make deals with the farmers and say, hey, when you get a couple calves ready, ready to take to the sale barn or whatever, let me know, because I want to buy one and I want to have it processed at their own meat place. He goes, there's a lot of places around here that will process your venison and stuff too, so you don't have to do it yourself. So make sausages and do all that stuff for you. So if we help support each other by supporting the farmer and then supporting the butcher, we're helping each other out. We're getting meat that we know is good, and they're getting the money to buy food for their own families. You see what I mean? So that kind of stuff's important, I think.
What is this? Linoleic acid is an organic compound.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fatty acid. It's a salt or ester of the acid. It occurs in nature as a triglyceride, like a triglycerin, as a free fatty acid, one of the two essential fatty acids for humans. So they're injecting this into a lot of pork. I don't think this is as horrible as what some people say, because as much as I like, and I do, as much as I like Whole Cows, they're talking about the pork market, which has been getting this since 2018. I wouldn't prefer this be injected in there. I'd rather get the whole pig the way it's supposed to be without injections.
Yeah.
But
why do they say that they're putting that in there? How's it supposed to help? Is it to keep the meat fresh longer?
I think it's supposed to keep the meat fresh longer. It's part of the triglycerides as well.
But that's what they were doing. They were doing the raids for people that were selling natural milk. They're going to start doing raids for people that are not selling, the food that has the proper, vaccinations and processing. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah. But they're doing mRNA jabs for cattle. That's in the plans. So just be careful of where you buy your food from. If you grow a third eye, you probably say again.
Read the labels.
Read the labels. They're not. They don't have it on the label, Janet.
Oh.
In Missouri, they were wanting it to be. Where's this at? In Missouri, they've stalled in committee a bill that would have forced labeling of beef injected with mRNA vaccines has stalled out in committee.
Yeah.
So what you have going on is that they want to have it be transparent. Lobbyists are shaking the hands of the people that are voting on it, and they're going to just make it to where it stalls out. It gets
So
no
what I
gas.
don't understand about all this, what you're talking about is all of these people that are on these committees, right? And the people that are going to be providing things for the committee, they all have families that have to eat. So
They're
don't
not
they
thinking
care?
ahead.
See,
They're
that's
not.
okay, but don't they care about what they're going to be feeding their kids?
Oh, hold on. I mean, we get all of our food from our garden, Janet. Don't you know? And I mean, we have our own. We have our own food that we grow here, and I've got my kids trained to not buy any food from the store because Kroger is harmful for us.
Mhm.
We know we can't trust Kroger because Kroger will not put things on the label. They won't put mRNAs on the label. So we would rather just go to the farmer's market and a couple people we know that we know the butcher, we know the farmer himself. And if
Mhm.
our kids get sick, then we just bury those people out with the pigs. That's all, no big deal.
It's
So
just-
yeah, that's how that would work. I mean, that's how the rich and powerful would work it. They're not going to go with the main places to go buy food. They're not going to go shop at Kroger for meat. They're not going to get sausage from Jimmy Dean. How dare you think that? Okay, so that was my little jab on Wiki. Thank you, Wiki. Maine Secretary of State thinks that she can sabotage and get rid of Trump. She wants to. Sheena Bellows discusses election sabotage and democracy. It surfaces after she unilaterally barred Trump. Apparently, this has been reversed. From
Yeah.
what you guys said.
Supposedly
Okay.
took it back because
My bad. Well, since we started this show, sorry, kids. I had old news. My bad.
No, it's okay.
Good night, Nerd Yogurt.
It's going quickly, faster and faster, but a lot of people have already said they had to go go to bed or whatever. But I'm tired myself, and I'm getting stuffy really bad, and it's after midnight. So, is there anything you want to say to anyone, Ruben, before we go?
No, I just want to basically say thank you very much. This is the last show of the year. And, it's been a really nice time being here. We started off the shit show. When did we start off? It's early, in the middle of the year, probably,
Yeah.
right? And again, I remember the very first stream you did, and then you were doing a test, and then I basically was in the chat saying, yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, you're good. And all that you've been through, your year has been a very, ups and downs like
Been
everyone
fun.
else's, and it's tough, but we're still here. And that's the whole idea, just be prepared. And, the shit show is going to get worse, but again, be the light. Follow me on X and on Rumble and YouTube. I haven't put many videos out there because I've been very, very tired and exhausted. So I've been still healing. And, that's my whole process that I'm doing there. But I'm doing more videos on YouTube, on my weight loss channel, on my main channel, on my Rumble channels, but mainly on X, because I basically am now, like I said, I've worked for the corporations. Now I work for you. So I'm putting out, what I can do, like I talk with Jen and talk with Bruce about this, the whole idea of like producing stuff, helping people get things done. Because again, there is still hope for the future. Sorry, my muscles get tied up. So that's what we'll do. So just follow me wherever it is. X is right here. Ruben Haynes, I use my real name. If you type Ruben Christopher Haynes and Google it, I'm all over the place because I don't care. I want them to know who I am because I'm ready to stand up and fight back for my freedom. All I really want is to be left alone. And, thank you very much. And everyone have a happy new year and prosperity to all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Bruce, it's your turn.
All right. So, for those of you that have followed me on my journey on this YouTube thing for years or whatever, thank you. For those of you that have become my friends over the past few years, really thank you very much. Tomorrow, my alpha test group is going to be running the game from about 12:30. I'll be sending out the link and trying to get everybody together. Looking forward to this little game as well because we're this is the last game we have of the year.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about the project. We've gotten a couple more pages done of the work. I need to get the spells finished. That way, Janet will stop saying Bruce. I don't know what I can cast. Hold on, Janet. Hold on. and I'll get her the hard copy she wants. I will, but I need about a day, and I've got a 3-day weekend, so I'm pretty certain Monday while I'm watching Blade Runner, I'll be typing up on what I need to finish up to get the first 2 levels of spells ready for clerics and mages. If anybody has questions about that game, come find me on my channel. Appreciate it. Also, at the start of the new year, I'll be trying to do more of a focus on health. It's not really starting off too good because the last day of work I had for 2023, I managed to fall down and bruise myself up pretty good. I can't wait to see how bad my knee swells up.
Oh no!
But, oh yeah. It was funny. I heard someone pop. So I'm very excited about the fact that yay, I might have some more time off from work. No, that sucks. And if that happens, that happens. I was just being a fool at work, and I was rushing around too much. It was my fault. And I didn't say that to the human resources person, but I'm just saying that, like, if I would have been deliberate with my steps, I would have probably not tripped over the 4-inch hose at my job and then landed like completely pancaked. And man, it was fun. It's interesting. I got some ice on the leg right now. It's working pretty good. And I think it'll probably take a few days to rehab it, but we have a 3-day weekend. Don't worry about that. I'm looking forward to being active tomorrow. I got to go dump laundry. I got to do some chores in the morning, then get back and get the table ready. Janet, I'm looking forward to the game with you and the rest of the people. Thank you, Six Nation 31 Kings, Flady, and everybody else that's at that table.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
For everybody that's in the chat that's still here with us, if you guys would just do us a small favor and be good to one another and take good care of your families, a level up adult, be the best adult you can to your kids. And we hope to see you guys after all the shit stops, because somebody's got to rebuild. Might as well be us.
It will be us. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up tonight. Thank you to Ruben and Bruce for helping me all this way on my show, and hopefully to get bigger and bigger as I grow, as my channel grows. And I just adore you guys. And I know we don't always agree about everything, but that's what makes us special. That's what makes us who we are. And that's what I like about each of you. So you just you let me be me, and you guys be yourselves. And I like that. And I appreciate you guys for that. And everybody in the chat, I wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for chat. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't even have channels, right? So you guys are the reason why we even have anything at all. As shows or videos or anything that we do is because of you guys. And we really appreciate you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. I know sometimes we can be very depressing because we're talking about actual facts, the things that are going on. But if we don't know what's going on, we can't work to stop it, right? So by you watching and talking about it and sharing with others, it increases our chances of being able to fight back and take back our country from these people. So I really believe that in my heart. So I just want to say thank you very much for all of you for being so supportive and being there for all of us. And God bless America. That's what I want to say. Thank you guys. And you guys have a wonderful night.
Take care.
God to